Greetings, Peanut Immortals. I'm the great and terrible NecroMage, and welcome to NecroMageTV Live. We're gonna play some Dungeons and Dragons!
Hooray!
Hey, they all speak through me. I am the avatar of all.
Be not afraid.
That's a disconcerting thought.
I don't know. Have I been a puppet this whole time?
No. No.
The silence in between was really disconcerting. I don't know if
He doesn't know about the puppet rule, does he?
That makes it worse. That it's a rule.
Wait, you didn't know there was a rule?
Oh God.
Oh, this is gonna be an awkward stream.
Okay, I'm gonna switch us over to a screen where you can see everybody, or well, everybody. Christian, you can see Christian.
Me, you see me. God, I love attention. Hi. Hi, everybody.
We all love attention here.
Everybody loves attention. Otherwise,
except for Tyler.
Dungeons and Dragons on the
I
internet
hate
for people's entertainment.
No, I hate
Except Tyler.
I only like it when Tyler pays attention.
Also, I love, Tyler, that you have chosen to be a bard, who is archetypically the most attention-seeking class.
I'm just a very good actor.
My name is Christian Allaire, and I am the author of The Rise of the Black Coven, which is a campaign on Kickstarter right now. And we will be playing through part of the introductory adventure. I will be your exuberant gay, leading a bunch of straights through a dark and twisted mystery.
Happy Pride!
If you are just joining us, this is the second episode where we will be playing probably a 3 to 4 part arc of our cast of characters. We have Gareth playing Elberin the Paladin. We have Mage playing Killian Doyle, a devotee of the goddess of dawn and motherhood, and that's what he's sticking with if you ever ask him.
I'm not a con man.
Not a con man whatsoever, devoted to the Fairy Queen. We have Tyler playing Lewin Alabaster, the neat freak bard. That was a character development that happened last time that was very lovely. And we have Maze, played by Scott, who is a former devotee of the Lady of the Lake, who has found herself, after a slight case of drowning, devoted to the Morrigan. Does that about sum everybody up well enough for now?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Eldritch Blast.
Eldritch Blast. Last
Wait for it,
time,
it's coming.
our intrepid party received a letter from a mayor in a town in Alexandria called Ravensburg, and the mayor effectively pleaded with the guild that hired these adventurers to come to his town and solve the case of the missing children, where children had started disappearing months ago, and the town is ready to burst. They are tense, they are mistrustful, and they are ready to commit acts of violence. On their way to Ravensburg, after hiring a caravan to help transport them, the caravan was beset by a bearded devil that slaughtered one of the guards and nearly killed 2 of the other caravan guards before the party was able to intervene and send the fiend back to hell, but not before realizing the devil was looking for something. The party assumed this was children, given its interest in one particular carriage of the caravan. Upon arriving in Ravensburg, they found a less than hospitable welcome. The party found that all of the residents of the town were very suspicious of these newcomers. But, wanting to get more information, the party split up and went their separate ways to explore Ravensburg proper. Lewin, our neat freak bard, who we discovered was a neat freak, went to the inn, the Apple Blossom Inn, where he discovered Heinrich, the innkeeper, in a very sorry state, in a state of confusion, talking about his daughter and his wife, neither of which could be found, and a thick layer of dust was found all throughout the inn. After tidying up his own inn room, he went to rejoin his party. Meanwhile, Maze and Elberin went towards the chapel of Eos, a small little church in the township. Maze, however, was momentarily distracted by the churchyard and a strange, very friendly black cat that wandered among the gravestones, in particular, sitting upon the tomb of one Walpurga Appleblossom. The cat seemed to be more than it appeared, mind you, and Maze took the time to investigate some of the other tombstones and found that an entire family had one headstone dedicated to them. The Sampson family, deceased the exact same year as Walpurga. Elberin, for his part, went into the church and ended up discussing some matters with the priest there, Father Simon, and meeting Phineas Cromwell, the person who hired the adventuring party to come to town. There was some extreme tension between the mayor and between the father, one of which was a strong case of personalities clashing. But it seemed, in the church at least, Father Simon had the upper hand and managed to chide the mayor with Elberin. They discussed the fact that there was a young woman being held under suspicion of witchcraft named Lucille Appleblossom. And, in a subtle way, inferred to Elberin that he would know what must be done while handing the key to the Undercroft to him. For his part, Killian made his way to the mayor's house and ended up discovering that the mayor's daughter was having a bit of a birthday party. Her 13th birthday, to be exact. And after performing some very lovely parlor tricks, discussed how the town was put on edge and how many children had started disappearing. In total, 12 children had gone missing. After the party reconvened and spoke with the mayor at his abode, and celebrated a little bit of a glum birthday party, the party decided it would be good to go and investigate this captured woman, this Lucille. And they asked her some questions. Lucille, proud, shackled in the undercroft of the chapel, ended up revealing that she suspected foul play and that the people who were responsible for the kidnapping of the children were still at large. She told the party to check the priest's records because they were very thorough, and accused the new owners of the Sampson farm of some sort of misdeeds, but she was very unspecific. Digo, the cat, however, loved Lucille, and the party suspected the cat was much more than it appeared, and was indeed a familiar. After giving what little information she could without revealing too much of her hand, Lucille also said a word in parting to Maze, indicating that she herself was one of the devotees of the Lady of the Lake. And we rejoin our party probably a little past midday as they leave the Undercroft of the chapel. And that is where we will pick up.
Elberin.
Elberin?
Elberin?
Still there?
Yes. Sorry, I was muted apparently.
Oh no.
I almost picture you saying, you're like, oh, me.
Oh, right.
I'm another Elberin behind me.
Might I take a look at that key for a minute?
Certainly.
I'm going to take the key from
I'll need
Elberin.
it back, though.
Oh, of course. I'm going to take the key from Elberin. I'm going to reach into my pack and pull out a sheet of paper and some ink.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to press the paper against the side of the building. I'm going to press the key onto the paper, and I'm going to trace it with a pen, such that I have the shape of the key.
Sure. So I'm assuming this is so that you could maybe recreate the key later or pick the lock more easily later?
Yes.
Okay.
Precisely that.
For picking the lock, definitely, this gives you a good inkling. If you wanted to actually remake the key, you might need a more three-dimensional image. So, like, pressing the key into clay might be more appropriate than just tracing it. But here's what I'll give you. If you try to pick this lock later, if you have this tracing, you will have advantage on your check with Thieves' Tools.
Excellent.
Nice.
And after I do that, I will hand the key back to Elbert.
Cool. So, party, you have many, many things to think about and many things to potentially investigate. Let's do a bit of a round robin what every character is thinking right now. And just because this is the order that I have you on screen, Elberin, what are you thinking at this moment in time? You had mentioned before that you had big paladin himbo energy. I don't know if that's still the case or if you are in a bit more of a serious mindset. So walk me through Elberin's emotions.
I would say pensive. Elberin was told by the father that he'd know what to do, and he doesn't. So he's trying to kind of think about what it is that that the father thinks he should do. But at
Okay.
this point, the kind of the best conclusion he can come to is that the father wants him to kind of get to the bottom of what's happening.
Sure. Upon you saying that, you can give me an insight check. Knowing that the father was very accusatory towards Lucille, whereas the Mayor Phineas was less accusatory and wanted more hard and fast evidence. Insight? Oh, a
Yeah.
14?
Yeah.
I will give you this. 14, I think, would be high enough. The father wants you to take justice into your own hands.
Oh.
He wants you to avoid due process.
I mean, that's I'm torn on that one because my character is very neutral good, and he trusts the priest, but at the same time, something feels wrong about taking it outside of due process.
Killian, what are you thinking at this moment in time?
I want to get a look at that ledger, at those records.
For sure.
I'm just 100% like, we're right here. Let's do that right now.
Gotcha. Lewin, what about you?
Lewin thinks that Lucille's a lovely woman and and could not possibly be behind any of this, and would want to go and investigate the Sampson's farm, but not before going back to the inn and fulfilling the request that was made of him to take the portrait that was in the stairwell and put it in front above the fireplace.
Yes, you had received a special request from Lucille to help her father through this time, to move, especially where he had some cognitive issues and some mobility issues, to move the portrait of the family somewhere much more visible, where he seems to be spending most of his time since Lucille's imprisonment just by the fire. Okay. Maze, what are your thoughts right now?
I'm going to say that after Maze threw up on the ground a bunch of water.
Oh, yeah.
If she saw Lucille's, or after Lucille had mentioned the Lady of the Lake. And I'm going to say that she either did see or thinks she saw in the water, like when she was looking down at the water after she threw up, she thought she could see her family in the water, right? And now she's like super scared, and she doesn't think necessarily Lucille is. Actually, she also feels kind of betrayed by the cat. She's like, I like the cat, but
I like the cat, but oh no.
yeah, she's with the lady now. Like, I gotta somehow get that cat.
I want the cat. That could be my cat.
Yeah. So yeah, she's a little freaked out by that. Yeah, that's what she's sort of more focused on, I think.
Okay. So we've got two decisions that have been made. Lewin, you're going to go back to the inn. Killian, you're going to start investigating some documents. Elberin and Maze, where would you want to go for the time being? Elberin, would you prefer to go with Killian or Lewin?
I suppose the ledger's probably the best.
Sure.
I
Yeah.
get a-
To be
yeah,
clear,
a better idea.
I will not be going in and looking at that ledger by myself. Because I now do
Yeah.
not trust that priest.
Yeah.
Sorry, Lewin. Where's Lewin going?
To
Go
the
back to the
inn,
tavern.
which is right here. It's across the street from the church, so not far at all. The town is quite small overall. It could maybe fit 300 people, all things considered. You know, lots of families crammed into small houses.
Okay. Where would I be able to get? I mean, maybe with a ledger, I guess. Writing materials.
There seems to be a small trading post across the street as well.
Yeah.
I also
just
have
wanna
writing material.
I just need to write a letter.
Yeah, I can hand you a sheet of paper and some ink.
Okay.
Sure.
I'll go back with Lewin. Where would the like place where you would send off letters be?
Probably at the trading post itself. Kind of,
Trading post
it would be the general store, so you'd bring in your goods for trade and swap them out and say, by the way, I have a letter.
Okay. I'll go back to the inn anyway.
Sure. Let's resolve the inn first. So Lewin and Maze, Maze, this is your first sampling of the inn itself. It is dark inside, except for that fire burning in the hearth, and the creak of an old rocking chair is the only sound that can be heard, along with the gentle crackle of the fire and the slow, heavy breathing of the man sitting next to it. You yourself also notice that layer of dust that kind of coats everything, and you might be more tuned to this because of your proximity to death, where you did, in your mind, die. But it smells a little bit like spoilt food as well. From there, Lewin and Maze, Heinrich does not really get up without you addressing him. That seems to be, if you don't say something specifically to him, he seems to be lost in his own little world.
Mm.
What do you do?
Lewin will actually say, oh, what was his voice? Lewin will actually say, good day again, Heinrich.
Oh, visitors. And he shakily gets to his feet from the rocking chair.
No, you stay seated. You need
I'm
not
sorry.
get up for me.
Have you been checked in yet?
Yes, I met with your daughter Lucille. She's
Good. She showed you to your room then. Very good.
yes.
Is there a desk or like a table with a chair?
There's both. There's a bit of a front desk where one might check in that also kind of serves as the bar. Just a small little thing. But and there's also a couple tables in the common area. It's not a very large establishment. It has about 5 tables, all considered, and a small staircase that leads up to the second floor where there are a couple rooms.
Okay. I'll sit at one of the tables and set the writing supplies and start writing a letter at the table.
Sure. What?
I almost seem like completely distracted from whatever Lewin's doing.
I mean, you haven't seen this man before, so you don't know what Lewin's really up to as Lewin goes halfway up the stairs.
Can I also gauge from the way that he greeted me the second time? Does he remember who I am, or is it as if he's seeing me for the first time?
You get the sense he did not recall you, even though you maybe met 2 hours ago.
Yeah,
He
that's
does not seem to be in a very good mental state at all, and it might have deteriorated. Actually, roll a medicine check.
Ooh. Let me just recall how I just load up the old character sheet. Come on, roll 20. You can do this. Medicine.
Medicine. Oh yeah, 18. You rock it.
Why am I rolling well at the stuff I don't have any numbers
Seconds
in?
to live.
Oh, maybe this is revealing about something in Lewin's backstory. I don't know. But he was probably not well beforehand, given the way that Lucille spoke about him. But the stress of having his daughter incarcerated probably was not helping him. He might be able to get by a little while longer, but he is going to need someone to look after him very soon. he might just be operating off of just sheer muscle memory for the time being, but he realistically needs a caretaker right now.
Do I have any knowledge of could I act as the caretaker, at least for the time being, as long as we're staying in the village?
For an 18, yeah, you know that you could look after him, but the worry would be if you have to leave the inn, who looks after him.
Yeah.
It's not something you could necessarily guarantee because it would just take up a lot of your time.
Okay. Well,
Party's getting it, old man.
well, I'll go fetch the portrait and come back down with it, and as going over to the fireplace with it, just Lucille is busy at the moment. I'm a friend of hers. She asked if I could check in on you from time to time, and she asked if I could take this photo. Not, I guess it wouldn't be photo because photography didn't exist. Oh no. This stick. Oh no.
Hey, photographs are real old. They're older than you think they are. Like,
Okay.
but I digress.
But it's not a photo; it's a
Yeah.
painting.
It is a portrait.
Yeah,
it is a very well done.
Yes.
Looking at it,
Photo
again,
of a painting.
I mentioned this last time, but to be in this small rural village and to have such a very detailed portrait, this was masterfully painted, which means it would have cost a lot of money to have done. And the inn is nice. I mean, it's in, it needs a cleanup, but the inn is nice, but it doesn't necessarily scream beautiful oil painting nice.
Well, this is quite the nice portrait. There must be a story behind it.
Oh, yes. Well, Perga can tell it better, but she had that commissioned for us, for our family, when Lucille was born.
That's lovely workmanship.
Oh, yes, it's absolutely lovely. It's hanging by the stairs right now. And he says that, and he doesn't seem to clock that you have moved it from the stairs, even though he's staring at it, but you holding it, he is entranced by it.
Yeah. Do I get the sense that he's probably he's a little less tension?
Oh, absolutely. He is. He seems much more relaxed just looking at his family. Setting it on the mantle of the fireplace, he stops kind of staring vacantly at the fire, and he's looking up at the portrait and just smiling.
Is there anything else I may get you before?
I was going to get myself a small cup of water, but I think I can manage. Thank you.
Do I get the sense that he can manage?
He does stand at this. It takes him a little bit to get moving. You watch him for a little bit, but he does. It takes him a little while to draw some water. It seems that there is a pitcher. It looks like it might have some stale water, but it doesn't look bad. But he never really takes his eyes off the portrait. Gets his cup, comes back to the fire, sits down, sips gently, and just goes back to what he was doing before. Meanwhile, Maze, you're writing a letter? This is session 2, so I am very intrigued as to whomst you are writing.
Yeah, I'm writing a letter to family in Theros, Cassius's family, to tell them that he's died.
Gotcha.
I'm going to go up to the old man there.
Yep.
And I'm going to give him the flowers that the kids gave us.
Oh, these are lovely.
And I tell him that these are for when your wife again.
Oh, that's very kind. She'll be back any minute. She'll love these.
Is there like a vase or something like that we could put them in?
Yeah, you could find a simple clay vase.
Yeah. I always picture like taking out old dead flowers and
Yeah.
replacing them with these ones.
Old dead dried flowers. There's no water left in it. You put a little bit more water in the vase. They spruce up the place.
I take the dead flowers.
Yeah.
I take them in my backpack.
You what?
I take the dead flowers.
Oh, just you take them. Sorry, you cut out a little bit there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No worries. All right. So with this strange, soft, yet mildly dark interaction at the inn taken care of, you have your letter ready to post. And Lewin, you've done your due diligence. He seems okay for the time being. Worrisome, but not right this moment. Can you fully commit to worrying about him?
There's adventuring to be done and
Children
to find.
There's children to find. Meanwhile, Maze, you head over to the trading post, which is a small wooden structure that looks like almost any other cottage within Ravensburg, save that there is a large hand-painted sign with the words Cedric's Trade Post staked into the yard out front, and there also appears to be a small forge out back. You can see that there is also a small little outcropping in front of the cottage that looks like a work area, almost like a wooden counter. And you see that there's a dwarf going back and forth from inside the cottage to out to lay out baskets of various goods and sundries. Aye?
I sort of
He looks you up and down with the same stink eye the other people from Ravensburg have given so far, but he seems at least open to talking.
I want to send a letter, and I sort of just present it out to him. To Theros.
To Theros. Okay. You've got money?
How much would it be?
To Theros, that'll be a silver piece. Ooh. My house just shook. I don't know if that was lightning or thunder or something happening outside.
How dare you charge me a silver?
I'm about to be smote by a fictional cleric. He charges a silver. Again, he gives you the stink eye, but he's not. Money's money. Will that be everything?
I'll give him 2.
Two silver.
Just make sure it gets to them.
Can do. We have a postman that comes by every 2 weeks or so. Should be here in about 4 days to take your letter. Is that all right?
I think so.
So, Theros, you're from Theros. He seems to have warmed up a little bit after the silver piece. The second silver piece.
Request. And I give him another silver piece.
Oh? Request what?
This letter won't be traveling over any large bodies of water, will it?
No, not from here to Theros. There's a river that runs through Theros. Does that count?
Just make sure it doesn't get wet.
I won't be delivering it, but I can make sure the courier knows. But for 3 silver, you mark my words, I'll do my best to convey the importance of this letter staying dry and drier than the other letters that need to stay dry.
Thanks.
So are you from Theros?
Yes.
Oh, okay. What's new in Theros?
Well, I'm from Theros, but I haven't been there in some time.
Ah, so you don't have any gossip, is what I'm hearing.
No.
And he looks.
There was a man
incredibly.
By a devil.
By a devil, you say? Where was that?
A bearded one.
A bearded? Where in Theros?
Well, not in Theros.
Well, where?
It's like right over there.
That happened right over in our neck of the woods.
Yeah.
Oh, can you imagine that? Well, it just goes with the rest of the string of bad luck we've been having.
I think I should probably stop telling people about that story.
No, it's a good thing you told me, because I can keep a secret if it's going to cause a panic. So I like to keep, my lips tight. Loose lips sink ships and get your letters wet, as they say. But no, that's good that you told me.
I'm kind of like, as he's talking, I'm kind of looking at his wares now. I'm like looking at the weapons, all the different things and stuff. I'm like, I'm looking at like what
So he does carry a small assortment of goods. So if you did have shopping to do, his shop can carry anything that is 20 gold pieces or less. So he doesn't have anything super pricey, but he does have a variety that's pretty decent for a town this size. If you are looking for something more expensive, Theros would be the one place to find it. It's the closest. But yeah, so we've had devils. That's a big deal. We
took a glaive roll from one.
Oh, do you have it?
I don't.
Oh, well, again, that's a bit disappointing. You've almost got this storytelling thing down. You could get it with just a little bit more practice, just a couple wee details there. But yeah, that's very fascinating. See, if you take a glaive from a devil, you want to then be able to say, "And this was it," and then you say how you smote the beast. You did smote the beast, didn't you?
Kind of. It kind of just got pulled into the ground.
Oh, well, that's disappointing.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, the devils, it makes sense that there's devils, because, there's been ghosts for ages. There's been ghosts for at least nigh on 2 years. 2 years since the Simpsons died. 2 years. Ghosts. Ghosts everywhere. Mark me words.
Where?
Oh, everywhere in Ravensburg. And at the farm where they died, haunted.
I mean, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Plague and haunted, so double bad. Ghosts up northeast near the Feywood. Ghosts. We're just riddled with ghosts and oogie boogies. Devils now, apparently. We're a very interesting place.
I don't like the sound of this at all.
Oh no, it's terrifying. It's a terrible time, and the kids gone missing. Terrible time to be a wee child.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's why we're here.
Oh, that explains the strange look in the weapons and why you're from Theros. Yeah. What was your name?
Waste up my scythe. Yep, this one.
Yeah. What was your name, Lassie and Lad? Because there's two of you. Because Lewin is also here, but he's being very quiet.
Oh, I didn't realize I was here. My bad.
No worries.
Yeah.
I didn't address you yet, and I've just been having fun, like playing around with this dwarf tradesman. So, you're here to get the children. That's fascinating. That's wonderful. 12 of them have gone missing. Everyone's wondering who's going to be next, or if it's done.
Are they all human children?
Aye, for the most part. I think there might have been a dwarf or two, or a half-elf or two. It's hard to keep track. I don't know. But, my mother's cousin told me once that 12... No, it's 13. 13's an unlucky number. 12 has nothing. 12 is a nothing number.
Oh, then we're fine.
So that is, it means everything's going to be perfectly fine as long as 13 children don't go missing.
Well, how many more children do the town have?
Well, the town's got lots of children.
Oh no.
But it doesn't have that many 13-year-olds.
Oh my.
Roll an insight check, both you, Lewin, and Maze.
Oh boy.
Maze, this goes way over your head.
Insight, the thing that I am good at and know where it is on my sheet. There it is.
13.
That number.
It very clearly sticks out to you. I love the 13. If ever, small segue. I want a character to do a witch build where they put 13s in everything. And I will give them so many benefits if they choose to be a warlock. Just be like, 13's a special number. You crit on a 13. It's just important. Your AC is base 13. Like, just...
I saw
a lot of goodies.
Excuse me. Quick aside. I saw a race that's like a Dhampir, like a half vampire type of thing, where one of their abilities is like numerology. You pick a number that isn't like 120 or some, I think like 7, because you can't because you're unholy. And whenever that comes up, it's an automatic hit. It's like a
love that.
success.
Beautiful. Chef's kiss. But Lewin, you clock it when he says this. There aren't that many 13-year-olds in town. Well, you know of one 13-year-old, but that strikes a chord with you, like what he could have meant. Like that is the sentence that resonates with you immediately as sounding strange, as if he is talking as if you know something already.
Well, hold on. Why does it need to be a 13-year-old? Were the others 13-year-olds?
No. We had a whole range of ages from 1 to 12.
Were they stolen in order?
I don't think so. But when the kidnapping started, Abigail had yet to turn 13. I think she's the only one who's 13 in town.
Great Scott.
And with that, we're going to segue to the church, where Elberin and Killian Doyle are walking back inside into the Chapel of Eos. And I will move us over to the Chapel of Eos map. Chapel of Eos.
I just love the idea that like ours is all somber, and then you two are just like walking on sunshine.
Whoa!
Towards the church.
Is this GM over?
Violence and suspicion is in your heart.
So Father Simon is still within the church. He is. He seems to be sweeping up, just tending to things, just effectively busy work, because there's not a lot of people in here today. He's met you. He's met the mayor. A lot has gone on, but it seems like he's preparing for who knows what. Grab you guys as well. So we've got Elberin, boop, and we've got Killian, boop. As you walk back into the church, he greets you and says, "How was interrogating the witch?"
Oh, it was a lovely time. We gave her what for, didn't we, Elberin?
Yeah.
Good. Has she confessed?
Oh, Father, you know she's not going to confess. She's set in her ways. Defiant to the end.
You know, I feared this. It will come to blows. You mark my word. This town will erupt. People will be calling for blood in the streets if we do not act soon. I pray.
Oh, yes. Blood in the streets. It'll all be terrible.
Terrible.
Might we see your ledger?
My ledgers.
Yeah, so one of the things that the witch let slip was that you have records of all the kidnappings. We figure there might be some sort of pattern.
Ah, you might divine where she might have stolen them by seeing whom she has taken. Yes, that is... Yes, excellent. Excellent work, Elberin. And he completely disregards you, Killian. As he looks at the giant shining man with the symbol of Eos.
It's because I'm short.
As he goes, yes, of course, this way. And he shows you into his office room, which is right here. So Father Simon's office is simple, yet very solidly put together. Everything is nice, handsomely crafted wooden furniture. There is a fireplace that adjoins it to the next room. And the bookshelves are packed with various religious texts, village records, and there is also, a desk and a set of chairs, presumably for meetings with people in private, when shouting matches in the chapel won't do. But you see, he gestures to a wide array of different books, and he says, "These are the records I've been keeping since my time elevated from acolyte to priest here in the church. If you need assistance finding absolutely anything, you please just let me know and I will point you to it."
Thank you, Father. That will be most helpful.
And as you start looking at the bookshelf, he kind of clasps his hands behind his back and he's beaming and he's just kind of waiting patiently in the office.
Okay, well, let's get to her then, I guess.
I assume it would be the most recent book.
Yeah, how are the ledgers and such, the records organized?
Well, he has everything in that you could think of. He probably is the main record keeper for the town. So he has things including birth and death rates, marriages, funerals, property sales, taxes. He's got pretty much everything, tithes that people have given. So it all depends on where you want to start looking. As far as specifically pertaining to the children, he has a bit of a journal that indicates the dates and the ages. Can I get each of you to roll an investigation check?
Over my dead body.
That's the plan.
Yeah, against my better judgment. Oh, that's actually a half decent roll.
Killian drops dead.
Hey.
Found the spike trap.
Yeah, so you see that in his ledger, it does reveal that there are 12 children who have gone missing so far. And with a 12,
That's as many as there are children.
that's many as our You know what? I'll give it to you. You have rule of cooled it into me. Yeah, you Killian, you make the connection. There's a child of every age from 1 to 12 who has been kidnapped. You can't seem with a 12 you can't seem to make out any sort of pattern.
They weren't captured 1 through 12. Is clear,
No.
like that's obvious. Okay.
They were not.
Maybe it has to do with where they live. Can we figure out where their families are living? Maybe it's something where it starts at the outside of the village and goes in, or something to that effect.
The father pipes up. Do you speak that out loud or do you just think that?
No,
Does Elberon
I'm
think?
thinking that as a as a player. My character, I don't think it would occur to him.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I would say you would need to investigate more things in order to ascertain that from the way from your quick reading here with your 12 and your 10, and just from reading over these notes that that Father Simon has given you. You might need to read more in his office to find out more, because this doesn't exactly indicate where they are living, and if you don't mention it to him, he's not necessarily going to be able to point anything out.
Yes. I am going to
That
ask.
kind of thing occur to Killian?
I am going
Sorry?
to ask the father if there's a map. Like, we don't have a map of the town. Like, we, the players, have one, but like our characters don't have any sort of geographic.
You can get a rough estimate map, same as what you're seeing from above on the Ravensburg screen here.
Mm.
Yeah, a rough indication.
Yeah, because
There-
plotting out where they happen would be the thing to do next.
Yeah.
It does not, of course, include any of the farmsteads because this is a farming community. So there's a lot of farms that are out and about surrounding the town proper.
And some of the children are from there, right?
Do you ask that to the father, or do you ask?
I'm going to ask the father if he could help us just locate, because we don't know the town. Just plot the locations of where the children were taken from, because I assume they're written in the book, but we don't. They're meaningless to us.
For sure, yeah. He starts pointing them out on a relatively simple map of the area. When you look at it, I'll let you roll, each of you, either an investigation check or an arcana check
Ooh.
to see if there's a pattern or anything pertaining to the way the kidnappings have gone. Oh, a 1 and a 7.
But not in that
Ah.
one.
No, it seems these 12 marks don't mean anything to either of you. It looks really random. The only corollary you seem to be able to pinpoint from these names and these ages are 1 through 12 kids, 1 through 12 years old.
Well, this
Is there-
looks like a bunch of gobbledygook.
Is there anything else I could maybe help you find?
Yes. Any details you have on the Samson farm?
Terrible tragedy.
I'd like to read him very closely when I say
Yes,
that.
absolutely. Roll an insight check. He seems relatively honest about it. It's been 2 years, so it doesn't seem like this is fresh horror for him. But he seems quite sad.
There's no sense of like he got away with it.
No.
Okay.
He does have a little bit of a fire to him, as he says. They called it a plague, but I swear that was the first instance of witchcraft in our village.
Are there what leads you to believe that?
Because the first person on the scene was Walpurga. And she was the one that said it was a plague.
And she was
And
which?
verily, I believe her and her devil-spawned daughter, both of them, witches, rotten, filthy to the core.
Well, that is how deep the filth goes.
Poor Heinrich. He never should have married her. An outsider like her. Heavens. But Eos, the mother, sought to give them a child. Perhaps there was redemption that was possible, but no, she corrupted that girl, and now she is a creature, heathen, a witch. She is going to be the death of those children. We need to get her to confess where she's hidden them. I'm sorry, my tangent. I want to help you find them. And he seems frighteningly honest about this.
Killian's just going to nod, and yes, well, I do believe that whatever these plague symptoms, we may be able to derive something from them. If you have any information about that or any other specifics.
Yes, I do believe I've kept tabs on them in all of my ledgers from that year, two years ago. He points out a couple volumes. When the door to the chapel opens, and that is when Maze and Lewin walk in at about this point.
Before I left the trade post, I bought 4 pittons from the door.
Sure. No worries there. If it's a mundane thing under 20 gold, you're good. Father Simon then says, "Forgive me," as he goes towards the main chapel door and goes, adventurers, here to help. Yes, the other 2 are just perusing some of the ledgers in my study, if you'd like to assist them. I'm sure your keen minds will be able to help.
I just walk by him and keep going.
As you walk by, he just watches, and then he turns his full attention to Lewin. I'm sure you'll be able to help unravel the witch's lies.
I can't move my token.
What? What?
Also,
Oh, no.
my day is going very well. Red is your red.
1 second. Try now?
Oh, I actually can't move my token either.
What?
No.
Roll 20. Why are you doing this to
Roll
me?
20. Why? It's because I'm
Why?
here.
Lightning.
Controlled by. Okay, Lewin, you control this. Save settings. Elberin. I mean, not that this matters terribly here, but it might. Who's to say? Your settings. I don't know why Maze can be.
Oh, there we go. I can control mine now.
Yeah, I'm just
You guys
adding.
got thunder as well?
Yeah, I just got a lot of thunder.
Yeah.
It sounded like
same.
someone falling down the
Good.
stairs.
There we go.
You both.
So the room gets a little cramped when all 4 of you go in there. So he goes, "I will continue to what I must be doing for the day. I will say again, if you need anything from me, anything at all that will bring this witch to justice, please."
Of course, Father. Yes, of course. We will do all in our power. And I dip into the room with the others.
Okay.
Oh my god, the tree right next to us fucking just plastered into the fence right next to us.
Oh Lord.
This is a perfect night for playing spooky D&D.
Ooh.
Like
I haven't been watching the chat.
I hope it didn't hit the building. Like,
If the stream cuts out, it's probably just a power loss. But I hope
haven't
that
been
doesn't
keeping-
happen.
I haven't been keeping tabs of the chat. If there's people in there, like I assume you're mostly in Halifax, but yeah, I hope you guys are staying dry and staying warm, and that no one loses power after our series of horrible fires and
Yes.
now apocalyptic flooding.
And remember, make sure that if you've got any letters, do not let them stay out in the rain, lest they get wet.
And for your letters that need to stay extra dry,
Pop an extra silver coin to your
Back the
local
Kickstarter.
post office.
back the Kickstarter. You know what? Here's
That
the
too.
perfect.
Yes, do
We have
that too.
segued. This is Rise of the Black Coven. If you want to see this campaign come to full life, back the Kickstarter. Search it on Kickstarter. There's a link in the chat. We love you so much. I can't wait.
I'll be back. I'll be
this
back
wheel.
in just 2 seconds. Assume
No
Maze
worries.
is trying to warm herself.
Cool.
Feels very cold in this church for some strange reason.
There is a fire, so Maze will be silent and sitting by the fire until you return. The rest of you have this entire small but still a library to peruse through for books, and he pointed out a couple of tomes. Would y'all like to give me? I will let you do either investigation checks or perception checks. Your choice for this. But you only get one, but each of you gets to roll one.
I'd also like to, like, as he comes in, I'm going to ask if Lewin can make any sense of the sort of, like, plotted out points of kidnapping.
Ooh, you became a robot for a hot minute there.
Oh, okay. Am I back?
Yep.
Yes, you're
Okay.
right.
Sexy
I'm
robot.
going to ask, as he comes into the room, I'm going to ask Lewin if he can make sense of, like, the plotted out map of the kidnappings.
Sure. Lewin, you can roll an investigation or an arcana check, your choice.
Well, let's do Arcana. Nope.
It doesn't seem like any sort of eldritch symbol or strange writing. It doesn't seem like it's a reference to something or an arrow. It doesn't even seem like it's an intentional thing. It seems like this is just a random scatterplot of dots.
This is just some sort of gobbledygook.
That's what I was saying. Perception,
anyway.
or what was the other one, Christian?
You could roll an investigation or perception. So Elberin's got a 15,
Ooh.
19, and 16. Awesome. So yeah, with that, each of you, the three of you that rolled there, each of you roll me a d4, and we're going to take the lowest one.
Sorry, I'm back.
No worries.
All right, so each of us are rolling a d4.
Yeah.
Ooh.
We're taking the lowest one, though. Hey, we got both ends!
Perfect. So with the three of you working together to find things, it only takes you about an hour perusing through these books to find things. Lewin, with the help of Elberin and Killian and Maze on occasion when she wants to interject from the fire and her deep thoughts, really helps you because you would have taken a long time. You seem to be a little distracted right now. Killian, you've got 2 books open. You're going back and forth. But Elberin, you are a one-track mind, so you find some interesting things. Oh, my emergency alert is going off. And I assume all of your emergency alerts will be going.
Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
What's good that
Now
the-
we've pissed off the god of water.
Maze knows all about that. So something that you find in the priest's ledgers is the old Samson farm was first investigated by Walpurga. And her initial assessment was plague. However, apparently Walpurga went back to the old Samson farm a couple of times, which the father wrote was a sign of guilt, already sowing the seeds of her being a witch even 2 years ago. But most importantly, she died, apparently of the same plague as the Samsons. Not only that, but very shortly after the death of the Sampsons, and after the death of Walpurga, almost to the day after she passed away, the Sampson farm was sold for almost nothing. It seems it was sold to a pair of sisters named the Pendle sisters.
That feels kind of
Yeah,
suspicious.
the Pendles. Yeah, we heard about the Pendles before, didn't we?
I think it just says the owners of the Samson farm.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
here it seems they bought it for next to nothing. Following that, you guys rocked it. You guys were all working together, like perusing through books. This could have taken you hours and hours and hours. If it was one person, it could have taken you up to 12 hours to read through all of these texts, but you're breaking it up real quick. In addition, the Pendle sisters seem to have made, after the purchase, a very generous contribution to the Chapel of Eos in the form of gold.
Oh, that's nice of them. I mean, they took the money that they saved buying the farm and then donated it back to the community?
To the church specifically.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but surely it'll trickle down from the church and into the rest of the community.
Of
Well,
course,
yeah,
because
exactly.
everyone believes in trickle-down economics, and that hasn't been proven to be a complete and total falsehood at all.
Well, that's what happens. You tithe, it makes everything good. You tithe big, it makes everything great.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Alprin, that's exactly what that means. Why don't you go sit over there in the corner for a bit and think
I'm
about
not an
how
idiot.
right
The
you
corner
are.
is a fire.
Actually, Maze is sitting by the fire right now.
Go talk with me.
Maze is utterly amazed at Elberin's faith, by the way.
Maze
what I
is
mean?
amazed.
It's just like, yeah. She
I
just
have that
doesn't
effect on
understand.
people.
She just doesn't understand it, you know.
Is there anything in these records about like the symptoms that were like considered the plague, like what the Samsons actually died from, like wounds or
Sure.
rot or something?
Yes, actually. It seemed like there was a blackening of the mouth and very pale skin, and the rotting of the fingertips is what it's written as. Killian, I will let you roll a medicine check.
Oh boy, we're rolling all my zeros today.
Could I do a bardic inspiration on him?
For sure. I'll allow that. I'll allow that for $1.
Okay. Well, you have bardic inspiration for the next 10 minutes. I don't know if you want to use it on that.
I think I'm good on that.
Okay, well, if you need to make another check in the next 10 minutes, you've got it.
And I'll give you guidance. The next
Yeah.
minute.
Yeah,
So-
you can roll it. Add a d4 to that.
It's a 20.
Cool. A dirty 20.
A dirty,
Reading The
dirty
Simpsons, and seemingly how quickly, because the Simpsons were discovered deceased, and Walpurga apparently had some knowledge of medicine and went to investigate. And so no one knows how quickly the symptoms onset with that entire family. A family of 5, by the way. However, Walpurga's symptoms onset very quickly. And to you, Killian, this does not sound like any plague you know. Especially since the only people afflicted were one family, and Walpurga did not spread it to the rest of her family.
Do you think it might sound a bit suspicious?
It sounds more like poison.
Yeah, nobody else died from this disease, did they?
No one. Just Walpurga and the Sampsons.
And when did you say Walpurga's symptoms started?
A couple days after she investigated, she went back to the farm. Or after she checked on the family, she went back to the farm. And pretty much immediately after that,
And how long did it take her to pass?
About a day.
Killian, what do you make of this?
Nothing good. I think we should be careful if we investigate the Samson farm. It seems
It's
like
also
they're
haunted, and FYI, I don't like ghosts.
Maze. When you say that, something happens.
Oh no. This whole
You
church is a
hear-
ghost.
You hear a raven caw outside.
Oh no!
And
I visibly look like I panic.
and when you hear that raven, you kind of recede into yourself. And turning that eye inward for a moment, you're walking along a farm. Its fields are overgrown and fallow. The farmhouse and the barn are in a decrepit state. And at the center of the farmstead, there is a well. And almost involuntarily, you are pulled forward towards the well, and you stare straight down into the black pit. And you feel like you fall, but you don't ever reach the water.
God.
And that's when you come back to your senses.
I probably leave the. I'm going to leave the room. Actually, I'm going to leave the church.
Okay then.
For sure. It's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, give or take. Maze leaves after hearing the caw of a raven. You all would have heard the caw of a raven, but she seems particularly perturbed by something that she did not discuss. What do the rest of you want to do?
That's you.
While we were looking through the books, at some point over, because it's been a couple of hours,
Yeah.
I would have gotten my writing, like my inkwell, back from Maze, and
course.
I would like to just be copying down some of the pertinent information that we've gotten from these books, the symptoms,
Yep.
the list of children, like their names, their ages, how long they've been kidnapped, where they were kidnapped from, and yeah, a lot of the names of the Pendle sisters, just like anything that we might forget, that we've gleaned from this session.
For sure. Actually, in writing it down, it might spark your memory. Roll an Arcana check.
Oh boy,
Ooh.
my days of doing tests
Do you
of
still
magic.
have?
And
Would he
I will
still have the
also,
bardic inspiration?
I will also, he would, yeah.
Yeah.
I will also let you roll an Arcana check, Lewin.
Ooh.
Is your bardic inspiration a D4 or a D6 right now?
D6 is what it is at level 1.
It starts at D6, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 16.
Hang on, I'm fuddling in Windows. Oh no. An Arcana?
9. So you don't, because you're not copying down the symptoms yourself. This is Killian, who has a moment, and it's appropriate that your inspiration brings him to this, because Killian, in writing it down, you remember something that Lewin shouted to you yesterday. The devils are poisonous.
Oh no.
Does Killian like have like a moment of like just like freeze up, pen drops?
Not quite, because I don't necessarily know that that's the same poison.
You have a very strong inkling that this is the type of thing that kills you very quickly.
The bodies... No, there was only one body, because the other two survived. The body of the guard who died,
Yep.
was he, like, eviscerated?
Yeah, he
Okay.
didn't get a chance to get poisoned. He was just cut up.
Okay.
I'm going to come back inside if I can after throwing up a bunch of water outside the church.
Oh yeah, there's like a minnow flopping around in a puddle somehow.
Um,
It's uncomfortable. Like where was that before?
Yeah, it's also like I almost picture it's like an uncomfortable amount. Like, there's no way all that water was in you. Like, are you just drinking water and that's all?
So you
I'm-
come
lovely.
back in. Yep.
I come back in. I probably look pretty sick. But I ask if is there a map of the grounds?
Of like
Like the churchyard?
No, of the property.
Oh, the Samson farm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I say
there-
the well. Is there a well?
there would have to be a well. They might not have an exact schematic here of the property because they probably don't. That seems a bit too
Well, too advanced.
a little too minutia. Like they just wouldn't keep the space for it. They might have a map of the property at the property for like the sake of the deed, or the Pendle's sisters might have it now that they own the farm. But here at the church, no. But a farm would likely have to have a water source or a well.
I sort of picture that Maze doesn't really know that. Like, she comes in and says, like, the well. It's like, I need a, like, where's the map of the property? It's like, we don't have one. It's like, what do you mean we don't have one? We need to know where the well is. It's probably right there where, wells usually go.
The well spot.
The well spot. Well spot.
I
Rock.
I think that we should make a quick stop at the trading post and then head straight for the Samson farm.
Okay.
Oh, yes. Speaking of the trading post, the owner was saying something about there not being a lot of 13-year-olds, other than in reference to the kidnappings, other than the mayor's daughter.
Abigail.
Apparently, 13.
Killian will quickly unshelf the book of birth and death rates from 13 years ago.
Yep.
And verify that. Or disprove it.
There are no other 13-year-olds in town.
Somebody was trying to make a set. I know where I'd have to go.
He starts just absolutely just mumbling curse words in Sylvan under his breath and replaces the book.
So that can't mean anything good, eh?
You turned Australian there for a second, and I'm
I
here
did.
for it.
I'm just some vague British-ish.
He has a colonial accent. He's from all over.
Yeah.
He sounded Australian. He said A like he's Canadian. It's
Cosmopolitan.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I love it.
Colonial.
he doesn't like dust. That's
I love it.
Anyway,
So it seems, to all your reckoning, if this trend were to continue, Abigail would very much be the next target.
we have to warn the mayor yet.
Yeah, can't be having that.
I have a question. I don't know if we would have thought of to even like get this information at the time. But the kids in the caravan, we didn't know their ages at all, did we?
No. They looked like in the 10-ish range. But it's hard to gauge kids' ages without asking them.
Is there like a super recent kidnapping?
The most recent kidnapping would have been the 5-year-old.
Okay.
Finally found a use for my D12.
Well, for whatever reason, it seemed like the trading post, who was quite the gossip, I might say, seemed to think the number 13 had some sort of relevance.
I won't make anyone roll for this. There are some, because all of you practice magic, there are some numbers that just have magical properties to them. So 3s, your 9s, your 7s. 13 is a potent number, both for good and for evil. 13, it represents the full amount of full moons you can have in a year, and so it's a very potent number for night magic.
Oh.
I
So
think
we should warn.
I think
the
we should
mayor,
move
yes.
before we lose some daylight, because we need to be back here before night.
This is true.
Now, you would know this just by looking at the region. The Samson farm would take about a 2-hour walk to get to.
Oh, I
So you
hate
could-
that.
You could get there by about 5 o'clock, which means walking back after investigating, it would probably be dark by the time you make it back to Ravensburg proper.
Do I have an idea that Heinrich will be all right for that period of time?
Yep. He would probably fall asleep when it starts to get dark. He'd probably not... He might get confused a little bit in the shadows, but also if the fire goes out, he'll probably go to bed relatively quickly.
Okay. So I do need to find someone that can take care of him, but it's not like you are now on a 5-hour clock to find someone.
No.
before...
No. I'm not gonna make the party do that. I do love the emotional investment, but I also don't want this to become a palliative care campaign, because that could also be very emotionally traumatic for a lot of people.
Yes,
So we care about Heinrich. I will give you, unless you guys implicate him in some other things happening, or unless you think he is suspicious in any way, Heinrich will be shrouded by plot armor for the time being.
Okay. Okay.
So,
good.
do we think that Abigail is in immediate danger?
I think
Like
Abigail
this.
is in danger at sundown. Potentially.
Should one of us stay behind?
Actually, I'm gonna quickly check the records. I don't know that it would be there, but have any of these kidnappings happened in like daylight?
Yes.
Oh, so something.
Oh
happened during the
no.
day.
Okay. Then I think we should go quickly stop at the trading post because we're here, and then go immediately to the mayor's house.
Okay.
Let's do that.
Sounds like a plan.
So you step out and go to the mayor's house. The Father Simon bids you good luck. Unravel the witch's lies.
Yes, we'll do all that. Don't worry.
As you make your way to the trading post, Cedric is still out front. He is counting some coins and handing away some buttons to a woman who has just purchased them. He goes, "Oh, you're back. Visiting the church. Any news?
My good man.
Any leads in the investigation? I love to chat."
And I
Yes,
love
I'm
that
very
about
good at
you.
getting
Do you
secrets.
have any anti-venom?
Anti-venom. Well, anti-venom. Well, the DM needs to look up how much anti-venom costs.
I
wanna
can't
say
remember if it's
50.
20 or 50.
Antitoxin, as an item, we don't see the price right away because we clicked the wrong link. But no, I don't actually have antitoxin because it's 50 gold pieces. It's quite expensive. You need to get the snakes, you need to put the venom into the horses, you need to get the horse blood.
I'm
It's a whole
already
ordeal.
walking away.
Oh, good day. It was nice chatting. Antitoxin. Can you believe he needed antitoxin? What's he going to step on here?
I'm not sure.
Itching bramble. He might touch itching bramble. That would be a shame.
That would be a shame. I'm
the rest
also
of you-
going to go.
Oh,
Yeah, I fe-
all right.
I feel like as he keeps talking, the party just trails away one by
Well,
one.
the art of conversation is just absolutely lost. You agree, don't you, sir? You and your big shiny armor. I bet you're used to standing around and talking to people for hours. Strapping young lad like you, I bet you have a way with words. As he looks to
People seem
Elber.
to
and-
like me.
Excellent, yeah. Do you have any news?
News. Not as such. I mean, right now we've been very busy since we got to town. So
Oh.
we're looking into all sorts of things. Don't worry,
that's very
citizen. We'll
interesting.
protect you.
Oh, well. Thank you. Very kindly. Very kind of you. I don't know if I need protecting, but, I am very worried. And I hope that you're here to do a good job. Because, I don't think a lot of people put good stock into good adventures these days. They just want to see someone, and he just keeps rambling and rambling, and you like slowly just shy away.
Murder hobos! Could you believe it?
Yeah. As you make your way towards the mayor's manor house.
Hold on. How much
Oh.
would a cheap holy symbol cost?
A cheap
Or
holy
could I,
symbol.
or could I have gotten one at the church?
You probably have a holy symbol on you.
Oh yeah, I have my skull holy symbol, but I mean like an EOS one or something.
Yeah, I have a cheap
Everybody
knockoff
jumping on the
EOS.
bandwagon.
I mean, you could probably buy a small one for like a copper piece, 2 copper pieces, to have like a small little wood carving of the sun.
Okay.
And that's the symbol. That's the symbol of Eos at the very least.
Yeah,
The most common.
I give it to Killian, and I say, "Hey, you gave away your holy symbol," and I give him it.
Oh, right. I did give it to.
Yeah, you gave it to
To
Lucille.
Lucille.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you never know when you need a little bit of faith.
As you
And I
guys,
say it with kind of like almost like a smirk.
I wink back.
Elberin is none the wiser. Truer words have never been spoken. The power of God on my side. I can do anything.
as you make your way to the mayor's house, I need each of you to roll me a perception check.
I'm bad at those.
Please don't be screams. Please don't be screams.
That's performance. That's the wrong P. There we go.
Uh,
We're not very perceptive. Well, Maze is perceptive.
No.
Terrible.
Maze did okay.
Mm.
Maze, as you approach the mayor's house, you, out of the corner of your eye, see a small streak of black move around the corner of the house, and then it is gone.
Hmm.
Just familiar.
Cat. We get some rations ready.
It's a very familiar black streak.
You approach the house, and it seems you can hear people talking within. But from the window, you can see that the family is seated around a table playing some form of party game inside, while a dinner is being prepared. You can smell baking? That would make sense. It's a birthday party after all. There's got to be cake.
Hmm.
But it seems that there's several people inside the house. There's Mayor Cromwell, Avonlea, his wife. There's Margaret, and then Margaret's daughter as well. I did say Margaret. Margaret was her name, right? Oh,
Yeah.
and I'm forgetting. A minor NPC that Killian was intrigued by. You can catch the snippets of conversation as you approach the front door.
I will ask because you did not mention her specifically. Is the mayor's daughter present?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
she is.
Okay.
My apologies.
I'm going to mention to Elberin, like he's probably like closest to me. I probably mentioned to him like, hey, I think something's lurking around the house.
Okay, well, Elberin will go investigate.
For sure.
Clank, 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 clank.
Elberin
Oh yeah, he's not subtle about it.
Clunk, 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 clunk.
Elberin splits from the rest of the party. Elberin.
Oh, I'm going with him.
Oh,
I-
Elberin and Mace. Okay.
Yeah, I'm the Scooby-Doo to his Shaggy.
Love it. So you two part while the two feather-hatted people knock on the
Once
door.
again, eh, Killian?
Party people.
And soon a maidservant opens the door. Says, "Yes, can I help you?"
Yes, we'd like to speak to the mayor, if we may.
Yes, please.
It's
is
very
this,
urgent.
She looks at the feathers in your hats and goes, "Is this party business?"
No.
In a sense, but no.
She goes and fetches the mayor and says that 2 very well dressed people are at the door waiting for him.
We're so
and-
snappily dressed.
And he comes and goes, "Oh, adventurers, have you found anything?"
We have indeed, in a sense, found something in that we believe that your daughter is the only candidate in the town to be kidnapped next.
He goes white as a sheet. All the color drained his face. He is shocked.
Does
My
he look, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna like give him like an arm or something if it looks like he's going unsteady.
when will it happen?
That we're not sure about, but it could be as early as tonight, and thus we're here.
Tonight. Well, you're staying here tonight, aren't you?
Absolutely.
Oh, good. All of you. There's just 2 of you. Where are the other 2?
Around back.
Yes, they're around.
Oh, patrolling. Very good. Oh,
Something
yes.
of the sort, yes.
Yes, I said I'd give you free room and board, and now it's very important that you stay here. Oh, Avonlea! And Avonlea comes from around the corner. What is it, dearest? And she sees her husband in a dire strait, and he informs her what's going on. And she also has that same reaction, kind of. Instead of heavy breathing, she immediately runs back to the party room, and you can't hear what she says from this angle, but oh yes, please come in, please. How do you know Abigail will be the next kid? How do you know?
Well, there's reason to believe that the next target is someone who is 13, and if we are not mistaken, Abigail turned 13 today, and there is no one else.
She
who is
does, yes.
13.
She is 13 tonight, as of this evening. Yes.
She's also the only 13-year-old who was, at least the only 13-year-old in town who was born here.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Jared's boy, he's 14. Yes. So that makes some sense in the farms. No, they're 12. Oh no, was 13 last year? 15. Yes, that would mean Abigail. He says through gritted teeth.
This poor man.
Well, I'm glad you're here, and that you arrived when you did. That's very, very good. Praise be to Eos that you arrived when you did. So how do we stop this from happening? How do we stop this from happening? How do we find the people who will do this?
Well, we think we have some leads, but in order to investigate them, we'd have to leave town for longer than I'm comfortable with.
Okay, all right.
So, unfortunately, I believe that due to the fact that there is no child sort of age aside from Abigail, I believe that whoever is doing this is likely close to completing whatever they're trying to do, and therefore impatient, and will act tonight.
Tonight. I see.
And so we're going to be here to stop them.
Tonight. All right. Well, you will stay here tonight, and we'll set up watches, and we'll light torches, and I'll rally the town.
I would not
be the
best
plan.
Let's not be telling everybody necessarily that we're
This is
here.
a suspicion at this point. We don't want. If we make too much of a fuss, then that will just let whoever's behind this know that we're onto them. They may decide to.
One thing we can do is, I suggest that we move Abigail from your home. This is where she would be, and therefore this is the most dangerous place for her to be.
Yes. Great thinking. Each of you roll a perception check.
I am perceptive. No, I'm not.
Bloody
13 again.
Sorry, this was only for Killian and Lewin.
Oh, sorry.
Elbrin, that perception check, we can use that later. Killian, as you were saying this, it's like, we don't want to tell everybody. And Lewin, you're like, no, we don't want to cause a panic. And you're both trying to calm him down a little bit. The servant is standing around the corner and just like peeking around the corner about 10 feet back. And her eyes are wide and frightened.
That's not a maidservant.
It's a space station.
We're going to cut to Maze and Elberin, who are patrolling around the mayor's manor.
Yeah.
And you are looking around every which way. Maze, I'll get you to roll a perception check as well.
Every which way? That's
Oh,
where the witches
no.
are.
Witches?
You're so distracted.
Maze, you're looking down around the ground because you saw that streak of black moving around a corner. Elberin, you think to look up, and you see perched above a window a small black cat sitting on the roof and looking down at you both, staring very intently at you. Even at this distance, you can tell that it is Digo. Same collar, same tag, same bell.
What's it doing over here? I'll point that out to Maze.
Oh, it's the cat. Probably spying. Lady
I
of
could
the
probably
lake
hit it from here.
style. Hey, cat. Actually, I try to get its attention.
Oh, it is 100% looking at both of you. It is rapt at attention towards you.
Maybe it's following us.
Oh.
It didn't flee.
Oh, I
when
hope
you-
not.
When you saw it, did you? Did it?
Yeah.
So.
I can probably hit it from here.
Oh God, no. Yeah, no. Leave the cat alone.
Two.
This is
It's,
also not... I'll also say, this is a two-story house, so it is an oddity for Ravensburg, because there's not a lot of those. There's pretty much the inn, the church, and this house. But it is not a very big house. So with an 18, Elberin, I will say you can tell this window that it's sitting at. The other thing that you will notice is that there are small knickknacks and little toys.
Wonder if that's Abigail's room.
You should probably get her out of there.
Yes. All right. Well, let's get started on that. How sturdy does this tree look?
On the town map?
Oh,
Is that what-
the tree, because I assume we're like over by this tree. Because you said the cat is up in the tree, right?
No, the cat is on the roof.
Oh, on the roof. Gotcha.
Yeah, the cat is on the roof itself,
Okay.
above the window.
Oh wow, how'd you get up there?
It's a cat.
This is true.
Cats are real good climbers.
Especially if they're a magical familiar.
Bunch of bastards.
Cats, just a bunch of bastards.
All of them bastards. All cats are bastards.
Name one
Okay.
cat born in wedlock. You can't do it.
I am going to use Divine Sense. See if I get a weird whiff off of this cat, or anything else for that matter.
The tree, it's a demon.
Oh,
Currently, no. You can't sense anything coming from this cat, which I think might be even a little bit more disconcerting than if it did smell foul to your senses. It's something that's neither divine nor infernal.
Nor undead.
Roll, actually, I will let you roll an Arcana check.
Uh-oh.
The ways. I should have. I
All
should have.
cats are magical.
I should have given
Yeah.
you a choice there, Arcana or Nature. But with this roll, I don't know if it would have made a
It
difference.
would be identical.
Cool. So in either sense, you're not sure. Maze, I'll let you the same roll: an Arcana check or a Nature check.
Elburn's not really good with that kind of stuff. He's more of a man of God, you know?
Ooh.
This, speaking of people of God, you who worship the Morrigan and formerly the Lady of the Lake, these archfey, those who revere them, often their familiars, come as fey.
Very well.
So this thing is neither divine nor infernal, and if you truly believe it to be a familiar spirit, it is a fey spirit.
Or hiding its true nature. Either way, real tricksy.
Fey are tricksy, yeah. That's there's no two ways about that. Fey are just tricksy beans.
What's the range of divine sense?
60 feet, all directions.
Okay.
Yeah, it is blocked by total cover.
I will also say, because there'd probably be some open windows as well, faintly on the other side of the house, you would also pick up that little holy symbol that Maze gave to Killian, as well as another holy symbol on Killian.
Huh. That's weird for him to have two.
Especially considering he gave one of them away.
Yeah. Just full of surprises.
Hmm.
I'm gonna maybe see if I can't coax the cat down.
Sure. How would you like to coax the kitty from the window on the second story?
I have some food. Maybe it would like some food.
Cool. Roll animal handling check.
Okie dokie.
16. This thing looks at you and it cocks its head. And here's what I will give you. It jumps down from the roof onto the windowsill. And it's doing that thing that kind of like mountain goats do when they don't have a lot of leeway, where it's just like it's very pressed up against the window. And then with one paw, it looks down at you, and it does a quick tap, 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 tap on the window before it jumps back up onto the roof. But it doesn't seem to want to jump down.
I think we should get in there. Something about that makes me feel weird.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
I'm gonna cast guidance on Elburn.
Sure.
Um,
For the next minute, you have guidance, Elberin. You can add a D4 to a skill check.
I don't suppose there's a ladder or something around here.
No, but there's stairs inside.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, let's go
Oh,
inside.
inside ladder.
Inside ladder. This is a fancy house. Damn.
Going around to the front, Lewin and Killian just realized that the maid had been listening to this whole conversation as Elberin and Maze come back to the foyer of the manor.
I'm going to, because I'm the one that caught her, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
AFK for 1 second.
for sure.
Would you be willing to come in here, please, miss?
This terrified young woman steps out from behind the corner. She looks down at her feet. She's wearing a brown dress and brown apron and brown everything. And she goes, pardon my eavesdroppings, Mayor. I wanted to know what was going on.
Are you a witch?
No, nay, not a witch. No,
That's good. Keep your voice down.
witches are ugly. Are you? And she holds her hand up to cover her nose.
No, witches are ugly, yes, but they can also shift their shape.
Shape their
They
shape.
can shape their shift.
I'm no witch. I'm a faithful girl. I say my prayers to Eos by dawn and by evening.
Very good. I need you to do something for me.
Anything, of course.
I need you to not tell anyone what you've heard in this room.
To no one. I swear it.
Absolutely no one.
Killian's
she
gonna
looks-
like size her up and down.
Sort of that.
She
What's your-
is rigid and terrified she might lose her job. I won't even make you roll for it. She's young. She's probably like 17, 18, and she's probably just a person who works here to pay her own bills, and she she looks terrified. Bunch of fancy people that walk into the mayor's house that the mayor is talking with cordially, talks about raising a mob. You guys are coated in weapons. She is frightened.
Lewin will try to put on like his softest face that he can muster, and well, there's nothing to be frightened of with us. Don't worry. What is your name?
Evangeline.
Evangeline. Lovely name, that.
Thank you, my lords.
What is it
there's
that
no
you do
need to
here?
Be so cordial. I gave up that type of title years ago. You may call me Lewin. Lewin Alabaster, at your service.
She does a little bow and then does a little curtsy as if she's not sure which one is appropriate to address you. And she goes, I'll just be going back to the other room. I'm sorry to disturb you. I'm sorry.
No, you're gonna stay here for now. What is it
But
that you do here?
Well, I tidy and I bake, and the cake is almost done. And I do be sorry. I just help out around the house, and I help with the decorating for the party.
Perhaps Killian. It would be fine if Evangeline returned to her work if I went along with her. Gave her a hand. And I wink at Killian.
I'll nod.
Don't worry. Don't worry. I'll keep an eye on her. Basically, I can't be conveyed this way, but basically,
No, I'll just
I'm
nod.
good.
I'll say
Okay.
I'll nod and go
Okay.
with it. I have personal reservations.
You go to the kitchen with this woman, and she is kind of trembling to be under your scrutiny while she continues to make stuff for dinner. But she tries to keep up polite conversation as much as possible, almost like she's nervous talking.
Hmm.
She's a teenager.
Yeah. I'll try to idly just be playing on my flute or something while just trying to keep it. Basically, Lewin's goals here are if this person is actually guilty of something, we need to keep an eye on them. But if they're not guilty of anything, they are just a scared teenager getting really panicked, trying to keep them calm is when we don't want this news getting out is he's trying to just soothe their
Roll a persuasion check.
okay.
Just roll a persuasion check for calming aura, calming vibes.
Yeah. Oh, come on now.
The vibes are not calming. You are a grown man with weapons who is a very fancy noble man. Even though you left that life behind, you just playing the pan flute in the corner of a kitchen while this woman works. She is not put at ease. She is, if
Just
anything,
keep baking.
But
she
Lewin is such
she
a nice
seems
guy.
she seems
It's
more nervous
implication.
because of it.
Yeah, it's
Um,
implications.
As she goes about. The cake smells delicious. It smells of cinnamon and nutmeg. It's almost like a carrot cake, you're pretty sure. As she pulls it out and starts preparing some frosting while the cake cools. She has a couple other dishes on the go. Meanwhile, Maze, Elberin, and Killian, the very tense mayor, invites you into the party room where Avonlea is stroking her daughter's hair. Avonlea seems incredibly tense. Margaret and her daughter seem incredibly tense, as if something has happened. Abigail looks very sad, and almost as if to either completely change the subject or maybe he's just unaware of how much this news has affected his wife and daughter. Mayor Cromwell goes, "Presents! It's time for presents." And he goes over to a pile of, quaintly wrapped gifts and bags. And one at a time, Abigail starts opening them, and there's toys and clothing and little books from away. It all seems quite lovely, if not for this tense atmosphere. All of you roll.
Except for me,
Perception-
because I'm in the kitchen.
Except for Killian. Except for Lewin. Everyone roll a perception check.
Get a D4.
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't think I'm going to use it now. I could.
It
But
only
I'm not
lasts.
sure I need to clear 20.
It only lasts a minute.
Yeah.
Guidance only lasts a minute. Maze and Elberin, maybe it's because you're on edge with the cat being upstairs. But you noticed something as she opens one of the gifts. Killian, you will notice the nature of the gift, but it won't necessarily... Killian, I will get you, because you got a positive integer. Killian, you'll roll an insight check, and then I'll tell everybody what's happening.
Well, FYI, when we come in, I tell Killian, like, maybe in even a whisper, that Lucille's cat is outside trying to get into Abigail's room.
I'm going to just be running that through my mind and not pick up on whatever this gift is because I'm trying to figure out the deal with the cat.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, 1 on insight. You do not clock this. You see Abigail open a little dolly from one of these wrapped gifts. Maze and Elberin. This straw doll with lovely hand-stitched clothing. With your perception check, you notice it's the only gift where the mayor did not read whomst the gift was from.
I'm going to go over to the box and see if it has a label on it. Did he put it off to the side, or is it still there?
Oh, the wrapping paper's still there. There doesn't seem to be any tag, no name, just very lovely hand-painted floral paper.
Who was that from?
He looks... I'm not sure. Just it was with the gift pile.
Huh.
Burn the house to the ground.
Divine sense?
How many times can you do that a day?
I can do that. I think this is the last time I can do it, because I can do
Your
it.
charisma mod, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, it's my or I think it's 1 plus my charisma mod, because it says I've got 4 uses, but that's
Cool.
my last one.
It is faint, but this little straw doll gives you an oil slick feeling just to look at it. There is something perverse about this quaint little doll in her hand-stitched dress.
Little one, I'm going to need that doll.
Why? What's wrong?
There's something dangerous about it. Please, hand it to me.
She does so, and she hands you the little straw doll.
Okay.
It's like a little corn husk straw doll. It's very cute. There's a little face made out of beads. The clothing looks very well made.
Elberin's collection is complete.
It's my new holy
this is-
symbol.
Gotta catch 'em all! Gotta catch 'em all! Yeah!
Yeah. Oath of the Traitor.
Alrighty. Well, yeah, I'm gonna be putting that away. I'm not sure what to do with it, but I don't necessarily want to just destroy it in front of this kid.
Well, when you say
Yeah, we don't want to just throw it in the fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What seems... I'm leaning into whisper to him. What seems dangerous about it?
I whisper, I think we should cut it open. I have my dagger in my hand.
The mayor's family and the invited guests, i.e. Abigail's friend and her mom, are all just kind of staring at you as you huddle around the cornhusk doll.
Okay. Well, let's take it out of this room at least. If something was to happen, I don't want anything to hurt the children.
Mm-hmm. So let's say you go into the kitchen so that Lewin can be there too. As Evangeline, she goes back and forth now, setting the table and laying out forks, spoons, and knives for people to eat. So she's in and out of the room, a little wary as you all kind of come in.
I'm going to hang out in the doorway and just sort of keep an eye on the party.
Yeah, for sure. What do you do with the doll?
Well, now I think it's probably safe to burn it.
Yeah, just throw it into the kitchen oven,
Yeah.
since the cake's out of there already.
Yeah.
You throw the cornhusk doll into the fire, and it lights up very quickly. It is dry. The fabric is dry. There is no problem there. And as the twine starts to burn that keeps this doll together and gives the arms a semblance of shape, two things happen. First, you smell the smell of burning, roasting corn as the husk starts to burn away, and burning fabric and cotton.
I'm going to cover my mouth.
You hear a faint popping sound in the fire, and the smell of burning hair. And you look, and you see that inside the little cornhusk doll was a small sachet of teeth, hair, and bones and feathers. And who knows what else.
Is Lewin still in the kitchen?
Yep.
Okay.
Reuse, recycle.
What's that smell?
Maybe the teeth?
The teeth were the popping.
Pardon?
Devilry.
Teeth. And Lewin will go over to the oven and just...
I'm inspecting the cake.
Oh, the cake smells delicious. It's iced up now. It looks like a beautiful carrot cake. And there's little florets of icing on top for Abigail, and there's a single candle. All of you roll insight checks.
Oh, these have gone fantastic so far. Insight?
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Oh, all of you clock this almost immediately. Though this isn't proof, Lucille has been incarcerated for about 2 weeks. You're not sure when this present arrived, but it would have had to have made its way 2 weeks ago to the mayor's house in order for her to be solo. That is to say, if no one else is involved.
Unless it's a cat present.
Those are, well, I mean, yeah, dead things are usually involved for cat presents. Usually like a dead bird, dead feathers, so that clocks.
Teeth,
However, it might be difficult for the cat to bring in a wrapped box into a house all on its own.
What color hair?
You wouldn't have been able to tell. It would have gone up in flames too
Smoky.
quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So where did this come from?
It was in one of the presents.
A strange thing to give a small child.
Whatever it is, I'm glad that she doesn't have it anymore.
You can roll an Arcana check, anyone.
Oh, I do love rolling dice.
Boy.
I do love rolling me some dice. Yep.
Oh, wow. All of you sub 10.
8, 7.
Why are you all
9,
such
8, 7, 6.
wizards?
Oh man.
My backstory is I'm literally a bad wizard.
True. Killian
That's
knows
right.
nothing about magic. Magic is a gift, not a study.
No, it's a study. I'm just bad at it.
Lewin is not smart.
Wait, did you all dump int in one way, shape, or form?
I mean,
I'm seeing
kept
a
a
+1
+1 in int. Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't really dump anything. But
Okay.
I mean, Eos guides me. I don't need a brain.
You don't need a brain, you have faith.
That's right.
God bless God.
God bless God.
Yeah.
So you don't know what kind of magic or sorcery or devilry is wrapped up in this poppet that you have just incinerated, but it's probably in your minds a good thing that you did incinerate it. Now, if you do inquire, either the mayor or the maid or the mayor's wife will tell you that gifts have been arriving since last week.
Oh, okay.
When
And they
did
can
that
account for where
happen?
all of the other presents came from, just not that one.
I'm not sure. Well, the others had name tags, but everyone's been dropping off little odds and ends throughout the past 2 weeks, the past week or so. Some baked goods, some treats, some preserves, little wrapped presents. I don't know where everyone's gift came from. Not everyone labeled all their jars, but it's been about a week since people started dropping things off for Abigail.
Have you received anything from the Samson farm?
From the what?
The
The Sam? The
Pendle,
the Pendle farm.
Pendles.
Excuse me.
The Pendle farm.
Yes, I believe so. I can't remember what they dropped off. I think they had a little basket of things that we had with them. It was definitely some milk. I remember that would have been last week or so, very early last week. Milk was good.
What about flour?
No, some flour. No flowers. They do paint such lovely flowers. You should see their barn. It's just absolutely beautiful.
No, flour.
No. They mostly have cows and some vegetables. No, they don't. They don't do a lot of grain themselves. But what else did they give? Did they give that box? I'm trying to think. It might have been them.
Oh, somebody needs a smite.
Urge to smite rising.
I know, right?
How much longer are these festivities going to be going on in your plans, Mayor?
Just Abigail's birthday, just for today. We were going to have dinner and cake, open the presents, and well, we were then going to go to bed, I suppose. He looks at you almost questioningly, pleadingly, as if you're going to give him some sort of hopeful answer.
I think it's best if after the party, Abigail come with us. I think I know a place where she'll be safe.
He tenses up. He stands to his full height, and he's part dwarf, so that is not very tall. Where would you be taking my little girl?
I'm not willing to tell you that, but I am willing to let you accompany us. If you're there, that's fine. If you're here and you get captured and you know where she is, that's bad.
Oh, that's smart.
He taps his fingers. He does one of these little. All right, we'll call it a little family vacation. We'll go, Avonlea, Abigail, and me. We'll go with you, but it's all of us together. I would not. No, we won't be split from her.
Perfectly understandable.
Power in numbers.
So where would we be going?
The safest place I can think of in this entire town from anyone looking to capture a child.
The church.
Oh no.
I facepalm and I glare at Elverin. Who stands there smiling.
Yeah, he does.
Beaming,
Just
very proud of
typically
himself.
smiling.
So not the church, not with the father.
No.
Absolutely not.
Where then?
When the time comes.
But tonight?
Yes.
He nods. All right, tonight. I'll dismiss Evangeline and I'll tell Margaret she can go, and Avonlea and I will make preparations.
I have a question. The appearance of the mayor's wife and the servant, are they
Yeah.
like roughly the same height?
I mean, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, more or
Uh,
less.
I'm going to ask that he doesn't dismiss the servant.
Okay.
Evangeline, that's her name. And I'm going to ask that my companions sit tight, and I'm going to go take care of some business in preparation for evacuating the mayor's daughter and family.
Sure.
Alrighty. I didn't
So
notice Evangeline doing anything like suspicious while I was keeping an eye out, other than
roll-
her being horribly uncomfortable.
Roll a perception check.
Absolutely. Whether I'll be good at it or not. I can't keep rolling poorly, right?
That's
Sure
not
it
how probability works.
It is not.
Yes, you can. Yeah.
I absolutely can.
You can roll 9s for the rest of your life, and that's
9s and 13s. That's
keeps
all I've
going
got in me.
down.
that's
Eventually
just
it'll roll over.
Nope, you didn't notice Evangeline doing anything untoward, as far as you could
Oh.
tell. She seemed like she was looking at you every once in a while, kind of, uncomfortably, but that might just be because she felt incredibly uncomfortable that an older man was just kind of in her workspace staring at her casually playing the pan flute. See, when you say it out loud,
Yeah, no, it's
Oh, I'm totally getting a Dennis from It's Always Sunny
Profoundly.
vibe.
Yeah,
it's like
Yeah.
the best intention to like put this young woman at ease, and it just comes off when you're when the
yeah, but you say it out loud. Now I completely understand. Like, yeah, no, that could go incredibly awry, couldn't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I mean, I did roll really poorly.
And you rolled really low. Like if you had just played like this really beautiful melody and just were kind of like maybe it's because you were just standing instead of sitting, but you could have been sitting in the corner and not looking at her. Just like small body language ticks that just set her uncomfortably, that could have just been slightly massaged, but it was just, hey, everybody's tense. This is a
Yeah,
scary town to
yeah.
be in right now.
I'm
I mean,
trying
playing
to
a
keep
loop of the
myself
whole
calm
mountain
too
thing was
much to
probably
be able
bad
to
too.
calm other people.
So Killian goes off to make some preparations while the rest of you have dinner with the Cromwells and Margaret's daughter, and Evangeline is not eating with the mayor, but she has made enough for pretty much everyone to have a delicious supper, and the cake at the end is phenomenal. She seems to be an excellent baker. It is a very moist, delicious carrot cake.
I want carrot cake now.
I want carrot cake so bad, but I can't have it because it's not gluten free. It will make my guts hurt me.
Oh, that's
I'm
unfortunate.
Maze isn't gonna have any.
Nothing.
No.
Do you want to tick off a ration?
Yeah.
Cool. Killian, what are you doing? What
I'm
is your
going-
preparation?
I am going back to the trading post because that is the only other dwarf that I have seen in the town.
You might have seen others. They just are like milling about.
Also-
But
I also think this will work.
okay, he is getting ready to close up shop because it's supper time. It is getting darker. Oh, I'm just about to close.
My good
Unless
man!
you wanted to chit chat for a bit. I love talking.
I know that you do. What's your name, good sir?
Cedric, it's on the sign.
Silly me. Cedric, thank you very much. Forgive my brusqueness earlier. I was in a bit of a hurry. I am a man who is here to help this town, and as such, I require your assistance.
Idea? Well,
Yes.
if old Cedric can be helpful, what do you need? I've got all sorts of stuff from all over the kingdoms.
What I need
Let-
from you is to spend a night in the mayor's home.
What?
It'll be a great story.
It would be that. Is he having a sleepover?
In a sense.
Oh. Well,
Come,
is
walk
anyone
and
else
talk with me.
invited?
Walk and talk
Who
with
else
me.
is... Oh, all right, I just need to shut shop.
Oh, that's
And
fair
he-
enough. I'll help you.
He quickly puts his wares away, locks up his house, and goes, "Now, do I need anything?
Just you and your lovely self.
Should I bring... Is this for Abigail's birthday?
Yes.
Oh, that's lovely. Is he having a bunch of people over?
He's having a couple
Soiree?
people over.
I assumed no one would be going because most people were all too spooked to have their kids out and about, thinking that they'd get snatched up by the boogeyman.
Well, most people aren't as interested in a good story as you.
Oh, that's very fair. Roll a persuasion check with advantage.
I'm really looking forward to see how this comes into play.
Oh yeah, dirty 20. Yeah, he is just happily chatting along. Like, you barely need to guide him at all. Like, he doesn't need any further convincing. He's like, yeah, of course I'll spend the night in the mayor's house. This is perfectly normal. I'm Cedric. I'm gonna have a good story to tell, and this is my lot in life. And so he accompanies you back to the mayor's house as the sun starts to set, and you arrive as happy birthday has already been sung and cake has already been eaten, and the family is now just kind of sitting quietly. Everyone's a little awkward. Abigail looks a little scared. It may be that Avonlea told her something or said something or has been acting in a way, and Abigail's picking up on it.
Mhm.
I'm
Meanwhile,
gonna try and tell Abigail some stories to maybe take her mind off of things a little bit.
for
I
sure.
would like to play a song to try to lighten the mood,
background
or just to
background
be
music?
like entertainment. Yeah, just
Yeah,
be
sure.
like pretending I'm the entertainment.
Sure. I want you to tell me the story that you're telling and then roll a performance check. And then, Lewin, you can also just roll a performance check.
Okay. I'm telling her a story about Sarah Alexander.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
And yeah, I'm gonna tell her a story about. Let's see, what would be fun for a little girl. I'm gonna tell her a story about when she was a poor peasant girl before Alessa was founded, and a story of how she was able to kind of outsmart people who underestimated her to gain that kind of power to be able to become kind of high in Eos's eyes. Yeah,
Roll me-
something inspirational.
Roll me a performance check as well. And Lewin, a 10 is a perfectly average performance. It's decent soiree music, decent lounge music.
Okay.
The story, Elberin, it falls a little flat given the circumstances.
I've forgotten parts of it.
Yeah, it's not the worst story in the world. It just doesn't seem to lighten the mood as much as you had intended.
I'm real heavily on the Eos facet.
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah.
Something you notice also is that Margaret and her daughter seem very hesitant to go out now that it's gotten darker. And it's about this time that Killian arrives with Cedric from the trade post. Oh, this is a lovely gathering. Everyone's all sitting around. Oh, you've already had cake. And Evangeline just kind of bobs back into the kitchen to bring out another slice. Oh, lovely. And he just starts munching in the corner as if this is perfectly normal and natural. Everyone in town knows him. And he just assumes that this is all part of the plan for the evening. Meanwhile, Mayor Cromwell and his wife, Avonlea, and their daughter, Abigail, look to you. Margaret and her daughter look to you. And everyone's just kind of waiting for the adventurers to tell them what they're going to do.
I'm going to just put up a finger, and I'm going to look at the mayor and say, Mayor Cromwell, would you be so kind as to permit me to take Cedric to your chambers and show him the surprise? And I put a finger to my nose.
Roll a d20. Okay. Yeah, he's picking up what you're putting down. Oh, the surprise. Yes, of course. Upstairs. Yes. Yes, please.
Okay. I lead Cedric upstairs and I take him to the mayor's chambers.
Yep.
And I go to the mayor's closet and I take out the mayor's I assume he has some very nice pajamas.
He does have some nice pajamas, yes.
Frilliest underwear.
And I say to
Bloomers.
Cedric, my good man, how would you like to spend the evening in these lovely quarters?
Is this a surprise? I mean, it's a nice bed. It's nicer than my bed. Absolutely. Why? Why do I have to wear? Why I could go home and get my own skivvies.
No, that's fine. You could. All I need from you is what you're wearing right now. You're gonna help save. You're gonna help save the town by doing this.
It's always sunny vibes again.
Are you coming
Oh,
on
God.
to me?
No. I'll avert my eyes. I just need you to change your clothes, and be quick about it.
Oh, no need to avert your eyes. I'm not shy. But he gets changed very quickly. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, these
And,
are comfy. This might be Oh no, it's not. That's not silk. It's very soft.
I'm going to gather what he's wearing.
Mhm.
And I'm going to.
Do a clothing swapperoo.
Yeah, I'm gonna go downstairs. I'm going to present that to the mayor, and I'm going to tell him change into this, please.
Which he does promptly.
And then I'm going to ask that his wife and Evangeline, similarly, there's a ton of privacy in the house.
Yeah.
Similarly, swap clothes.
Yep, they do so. Avonlea is now wearing the very brown, drab clothing of Evangeline, and Evangeline is wearing a very fine party dress now.
And similarly, I assume I can swap the clothes between Abigail and her little friend, who I don't know if was ever named.
Oh, I do have her name. Give me one
Her
second.
mother was named.
Yes, her mother Margaret. Oddly enough, I do have her name. I have names for almost every NPC. I just need to find them in the book.
Yeah, I'm sure she's named. I just don't think we ever got it.
Yeah, it very much might not have come up. I can dig for it in a moment, but her name will be Brittany for now.
Okay. And basically, while this is all happening, I'm assuming that the rest of my party is looking at me very confused.
So everyone has done a big
Absolutely.
clothing swap. Yeah.
So while this is happening, I'm going to get the three of them aside and just be like, so here's what I'm thinking. We're going to smuggle the mayor, his wife, and his daughter out of here in the clothing disguised as, townsfolk. And the three people who are here, well, they can disband themselves later. Maybe one of us stays with them, but we smuggle them to safety in plain clothes
maybe-
rather than looking like themselves.
Probably shouldn't be me. I do not think that the maid likes me much.
Yeah, and I'll just let them know if anything happens, they can just run. They can just book it. There's nothing of value here.
That's a good plan.
Thank you.
I think it's really dangerous to leave them behind, but the ends justify the means.
We can tell them to leave in like an hour. Like there's danger, but I think this is the best
Well,
way to
there's always
keep
going to
the
be
girls
danger.
safe.
Do you inform your party where you plan to take everyone?
Yes, where do you plan on taking everyone?
Ah, thank you, Lewin.
This weird voice in my head just asked me to say
God,
that.
I'm on high,
So weird.
inspiring me with questions.
A muse, perhaps.
Like Elberon said, the church.
Oh.
Obviously.
But the basement.
Ah,
We
keep
can
her
trust
with
that
the
girl
one-
down there.
We keep her with the one person we know isn't a witch.
Precisely.
That's very intelligent.
I adjust my hat with a little bit of swagger.
You've earned that feather, brother.
Okay. Your escorts, or your
I hate all of this.
dressed and ready to go. They have packed some small personal effects as well in simple bags. Nothing major. They don't look close up. It's obvious who they are. They don't look the same in the face, but from a distance, you could very easily mistake these people for different people. Especially since it's getting darker. It's getting late. By this point, it's probably 6:30, 7 o'clock, all things considered, all things told. So it is dark out. Getting darker. Are we good to leave?
I think so. Killian will basically have them sort of gather up, and he's going to go up and check on like the mayor's bedroom on Cedric, and be like, "My good man,
Yes!
just so you know, we're going to be heading off now. If anything untoward or nefarious were to pop up in the home, just get yourself out the window."
Aye, can do. Can do. He was basically just making sheet angels in the mayor's bed.
That's
that a
adorable.
Sorry?
Is that a euphemism?
No.
No, like he's a small man. It's like a queen or king size bed, and he's just in the bed making sheet angels.
Very cozy.
So your party and your wards all prepare to leave. And as you exit the mayor's manor, you hear something from above you. Meow! 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 A cat meowling, and it hisses. It hisses aggressively. Roll perception checks, everyone.
Ooh.
Perception check doesn't sound like Eldritch Blast.
Could probably
Nice.
get from here too.
My Irish eyes are smiling.
Ooh.
Great. So Elbryn, you're distracted by the fact that this cat is just being a loud, obnoxious cat. Cats often
Yeah,
do
cat.
that.
Yes.
But literally everyone else notices the cat is not facing the party. There's a small house near the mayor's that has a garden. And with a nat 20, a 24, and 18, you all clock what the cat is hissing at from its rooftop perch. It is pacing back and forth. It is glaring daggers, hissing, meowling towards this garden patch, where sproutlings have started to come up, and there is a scarecrow standing in the middle of the garden. The mayor, Abigail, and Abigail's mom, Avonlea, all look towards the party for guidance, their eyes wide with fear. What do you do?
So, is the scarecrow facing towards us?
Yeah, more or less.
Oh,
How-
that's awful.
How big is the scarecrow?
Scarecrow sized.
Okay.
Is
Person-sized?
there normally a scarecrow there?
All
I'll
that you
whisper to like the mayor.
I think we should.
in a frightened state, and I don't know. I don't know. I will let you all roll intelligence checks, just flat int checks.
Oh. Nice.
Oh, Maze.
Well, I will to save, I guess.
You that I mean,
I don't
it's
think that's
in
right.
this
Well,
particular instance, it's functionally the same thing because you're not proficient either way. So, Maze, there is no way in hell that scarecrow was there earlier today. You walked around this building, you were trailing the cat, you did a perimeter check, and this thing looks frightening.
Can I use chill touch on it?
Is Chill Touch a range attack or is it a melee attack?
It's a range attack.
Yeah, you are more than welcome
It's
to.
120 feet. I mean, technically, it's a space of a creature, so I don't know. Depends.
Yeah, go for it.
I assume that's like you could attempt it, and then if it's not a creature, it doesn't work.
Doesn't work on it. Yeah.
Yeah, oddly enough, chill touch, not a touch spell.
Not a cold spell either, if I remember right.
It's
No,
true.
it
I
does
figure you
necrotic
could
damage.
just use it as a
Yeah.
target, right?
Oh shit! I didn't mean to do it the second time.
Oh, that's all right.
Oh shit! I didn't. I wanted to post what
Ah,
that's what I wanted to
yeah,
post.
There we go.
ghostly skeletal hand. So a ghostly skeletal hand comes out of you, or appears, whichever you decide, and goes and grabs this scarecrow. And I imagine it's like a big, spooky thing that grabs the scarecrow around the chest. And the scarecrow falls over.
Take that.
Well, that's it for
Scarecrow.
that.
Probably fine.
I think we should move quickly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is the cat still
Okay.
meowing, like yowling after?
Oh
the
yeah,
scarecrow?
Digo, he is hissing and he is still sputtering at this thing.
Actually, wait. I have an idea. I'm gonna do a thing that I wanted to do last time. I'm gonna do it now. I just need to go. I need to find my spells. I need to find my spells.
Seppuku.
Find my spells. That's not a spell.
Could be.
Bam!
Speak with animals. Yeah, you can communicate. You know what this cat is saying, which mostly right now is essentially in unintelligible angry sounds, like "get out of here," "boo," hit, like literally boos and hisses at this thing. But you can talk to it if you'd like as well. Digo is now capable of understanding you too.
You start meowing at it.
Meow,
Digo
meow,
was
meow, 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 meow.
meow, 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 meow.
Understanding intelligent speech for the first time, he turns towards you, shocked. What are you still doing here?
What are you meowling at?
The Watcher?
You- The Witcher.
The Watcher?
The Watcher.
It's watching.
Was it the Scarecrow?
Yes. It's still watching you.
I look over to like where the Scarecrow was. Is it back up?
It is not back up, and at no point did you see its head turn, but its head is facing the party.
I do not like that. I'm gonna go over to the Scarecrow and just try to like, I don't know, like kick its head the other way and like take like a stick or something and try to like impale it so that it can't. I don't know.
Sure. Want to make an attack roll for me?
Sure.
Curb stomp this scarecrow.
That would be on this page. This is gonna end very well, don't worry.
American History X did.
I'd like it to be known that multiple times I said, "Hey, let's just hurry to the church."
This is
Yeah, you guys can all be Killian, you can be ushering or moving the rest of the escort tees with you if you want while this is happening.
I mean, I feel like I would be just trying to get going away from this thing as fast as possible and to safety as fast as possible. But I don't think I'd want to leave Lewin alone.
well,
So-
and there's also like being watched. Then, like all of our efforts are for naught if this thing is just gonna
No,
be
because
like,
we disguised them. That's why I disguised them.
there. Anyway,
Uh,
I
Where's
guess I'll just go up and inspect. Oh, you know what? Fine. I can't figure out how to do an attack roll with just like a stick.
That's fine.
So, just
That
rapier.
I mean, I'd say a stick is equivalent to a rapier. So yeah, you hit it with a stick. Want to roll? The stick snaps and breaks against the scarecrow because it's a stick,
Mm.
and it doesn't seem to move. The stick doesn't seem to hurt it.
It's doing its job.
Mm.
It's a scare cat
Just-
and a scare bird.
Mm.
So while this is happening, Killian, you are taking the people and escorting them. Is anyone else going with Killian?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Killian.
So Elberin and Killian are going together.
Yeah, I'm not.
And Maze is here with Lewin. Okay.
That works because
well-
he has the key.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So this scarecrow does not seem to react to being hit with a stick, but the cat is hissing and says it's just pretending.
Hmm.
Quick, pinch it.
Are
Do
you
we have any
talking to the
fire?
cat?
Oh, yes. It's quite the conversationalist, really.
That's amazing.
It is. Thank you. Anyway.
Man, that
What was that, Mace?
Well,
no, I'm just waiting.
Okay.
for,
So Lewin, what do you want to do?
just realized I don't actually have any torches.
Oh, that's delightful.
I have
That's-
candles.
Oh, you need fire. I got fire.
That's
I have
music to my
candles.
ears sometimes.
This thing is probably like it's pretty dry.
It's a scarecrow, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we can't just leave this here. It's a danger to the town. It's a danger to everyone, especially if it's just watching. I say we burn it.
All right.
What say you, Maze?
Sure. I'm already as I almost picture you.
What say you, Maze?
talking
Turn
with
around.
me,
You already have a
me
fire
behind you.
going.
I already have a torch going.
Oh, did you light a torch?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
As you go to light a torch, Maze,
Mhm.
I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Ooh.
As this thing
Ooh.
bursts to life and screams and glares at you.
Oh baby.
Oh
gonna be
no!
I got this. I'm good at wisdom saves.
I don't have this. I
This
don't got
thing's
this.
face peels back, and what you see underneath the sackcloth hood is a perspective you had hoped to never see again, and it's you underwater falling away from the light
Oh,
as you
God.
see the sun above you,
God.
and you feel the terror of being submerged and about to drown, and you are paralyzed. I need Maze and Lewin to roll initiative.
Ooh.
I'm going to get out an initiative tracker. You don't have tokens, but that's okay. I'm going to put your little tokens on the map. Meanwhile, while you guys are doing that... shoot. Did it not... did it? No, it didn't send it to turnover. That's okay.
We're fighting fiddlesticks right now. Oh no.
It's fine. It's just one Bodak.
It's no Bodak at all. We're going to be doing combat while we're doing also social interactions. And I will get the rest of the party to roll initiative momentarily. You are not here today. Can I delete you? I can't delete you, can I? Ugh.
Yeah, there's so many. I picture Maze being afraid of so many things. Like she's afraid of water. She's actually afraid of the dead, like of ghosts and stuff like that. Or she was. She used
I
to be
love
afraid of
that.
ghosts, right? But now she has to deal with death, and she's like, I hate all of this. I hate the water. I hate all of this stuff. I hate ghosts. I don't like fairies. I don't like
fairies?
Eos.
What do we got?
Actually, that's not entirely true. Well, I don't like Lady of the Lake. Or the Morgans and that difference.
She's not around as much. She's a different energy, different vibe. All right. Descending order. So before this shenanigan resolves, Elberin and Killian, you make it to the Church of Eos. It is dark. There is still a little bit of light coming from the Father's study. Are you trying to sneak them into the church, or are you... into the Undercroft, or are you brazenly going to the church? I need to know if you're going to be rolling stealth checks or moving quickly.
Yeah, I think we're moving quickly.
Okay.
I'm just going to rely on the fact that the church is hallowed ground to be useful. And also just speed helps not get seen in and of itself.
Sure. Then I need I need you guys to roll stealth checks with disadvantage.
Do I have double disadvantage?
No, it does not.
Roll
stack
4
that.
dice and take the lowest.
Yeah.
You did better than me.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
The family is not like being loud, but they are not like quiet running. They are, running.
Yeah.
But it seems that you do not draw the attention of Father Simon as you make it to the side of the church, into the churchyard, and unlock the cellar door. It is pitch black inside. And both of you are human, correct?
Yes.
I am a half elf.
Oh, you're a half elf.
Yeah.
Oh, so you can see perfectly fine in the dark.
Yeah.
So you peering down into the dark, this area of town that is not lit. Most of the town is not lit, but there's a little bit of light coming from windows, enough to light your way. You can see down into the dark, at least to the bottom of the staircase, and you don't really see anything untowards. What do you do?
Alrighty. Well, I guess I will. I'll go first down in there or whatever. But I guess I'll usher the rest downstairs once I see that everything's kind of clearish.
As you start going down the stairs, you hear the movement of metal as you hear chains being moved. And you don't see anything at first, but the beam that Lucille is shackled to, their shackles are still there, but it seems she might be hiding behind it as you hear a woman's voice, Lucille's, go, "Who's there?"
It's Elberin.
What are you doing?
We need to hide in the basement here for a little while. We're trying to keep the mayor and his family safe.
What's going on?
I'm not sure. We have reason to believe that.
Straight
yeah.
up, I don't know.
I'm not completely sure why we're here.
I can't.
You're not the
remember.
ideas guy.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not sure how it happens, but a small candle flares to light nearby.
Huh.
Oh. Well, it's not very comfortable down here, but I suppose everyone's welcome in. As she just kind of shrugs. It seems like she was sleeping up until you opened the door. As you usher in the mayoral family and Killian down into the basement. So, Killian, what's going on?
I'd just like to say that I close the door behind us as we come down.
Okay.
That's fine.
She looks very worried, but she still has that sort of stoic demeanor. What is happening?
It's our belief that the young Abigail here is the next target of kidnap. And of everyone in the town, the only person who couldn't possibly have been behind the chicanery and devilry that we encountered at the mayor's house today is you.
Because I'm shackled up in the basement of
Because
the
you're
church?
shackled up in the basement of the church. Also, the safest place to safeguard
the what?
against any sort of witchcraft or devilry, to my knowledge, is the church ground on account of its consecrated nature. Eos protects.
I mean, it is consecrated. It's not hallowed. If that makes a difference to you.
It's better than not.
Yeah. Hallowed as in it's not like the 5th level spell casting hallowed that requires like 1,000 gold pieces to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I suppose. But there are many things that can be done here still. And she looks worried. Does anyone know they're here?
Unless they just saw us and saw through their disguises from a great distance in the dark. No. Elverin, could you please unshackle the lady?
Is that a good idea?
I think that's the best idea possible.
Okay. I will unshackle her.
You unshackle her, and she massages her wrists again. Thank you. Are you getting me out of here?
We're going to be spending the night here. What happens?
All of us.
Yes, all of us. We're having a lovely night here where we're going to be safe.
Okay. It's at that moment I need you two to roll. Now you did say you closed the door behind you,
Mhm.
so I'm gonna need you to roll perception checks with disadvantage. Lucille will also roll. Ooh. Oh, oh,
Hey!
that's not too bad.
Yeah, geez, I should roll everything with disadvantage.
Yeah!
Actually, you both hear it after you have shut the door. You hear a blood-curdling scream coming back from where you came. Now we will jump back to Lewin and Maze, who are in initiative. Lewin, this thing has just peeled back its visage and glared at Maze as she attempted to light a torch, and now she seems stock frozen in absolute pants-shitting terror. What do you do? This thing is prone, but it seems completely animate.
This is not good.
What do you do?
I draw my rapier
Yeah, for sure.
and I attempt to. Coup de grace is not like an action thing.
No,
I
it
can
is.
do.
It is prone, so you get advantage on any melee attack rolls you make within 5 feet of it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
coup de
I-
grace
we're-
would be if
we're
it
gonna
was
do that.
helpless, but it is not.
Coup de grace is also not technically a thing anymore. It's just people who are incapacitated have a bad time.
Yeah. Well, it's just auto crit, isn't
Alrighty.
it?
Yeah,
Oh, it's
Pretty
just an auto crit.
Within 5 feet.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
over
it also
5 feet.
counts for 2 failed death saves if they are at 0 or less.
Yeah.
With advantage, it's 12.
12 is actually enough to hit it.
Oh, nice.
Roll your damage with your rapier as you stab down into this thing.
Ooh.
Now,
Not bad. Not bad.
you are an elegant swordsman, and this is a simple stroke. It is down on the ground, you stab it in the back, and that should be end of discussion. This thing, however, has a body made of straw, and a lot of the force of your strike goes through fabric and straw, and you realize it is not as effective as you would have hoped against such an evil thing.
Oh, beans.
Do you have anything else you would like to do?
Well, I curse just now.
Curse, yeah, sure, love that.
No sense in. I don't have anything to spend bonus actions on as yet.
You're a bard.
I used up all my bardic inspiration.
Oh, you used up it all. Oh, this
I only
is
had
gonna
the 2.
You only have the 2. Only have the 2.
Only have the 2. Unless it's 1 plus your charisma modifier, but I think it is just like your charisma mod is how many bardic inspirations you have.
You eventually get them back on a short rest, which I would have allowed like dinner to count as a short rest. But I don't think you have that
Yeah,
currently.
I don't
so,
think I get that until later.
No. So I'm going to change my music to be something a little bit more aggressive. Sorry. I'm setting my own tones. For those of you listening a lot at home, I'm using mynoise.net. Not sponsored, just really nice. Really good for setting the tone. I also have playlists, but I didn't want those to come through on the mic and get videos banned and stuff.
This is fair.
So yeah, you don't have any bonus actions you want to do. So
Mhm.
this thing is going to use some of its movement to stand up. Oh, sorry. I lied. Maze, you are paralyzed.
Oh yeah,
You
I
are-
can't do anything.
You can't do
speak,
anything.
I can't move.
You are frozen in until the end of this thing's next turn, which is incidentally right now. It uses some of its movement to stand up, and this is when you realize the hands on this scarecrow are rusted forks old cutlery and farming implements as it makes one claw attack against you, Lewin.
Oh boy.
Does a 7 hit you?
No, it doesn't. Thank God.
It then hops forward out of your reach, so you do get to make an attack of opportunity
Picturing
against
like
it.
an Edward Scissorhands thing going on.
Oh, very much so. You get to make an attack of opportunity against it as it starts rushing towards Maze.
Oh
That
yeah,
is a
absolutely.
hit. Yeah.
Ooh.
And
Roll some damage.
6 piercing.
Yep. It is upsetting how you feel this would have felled a human being twice over. These are precise heart strikes, gut strikes, and it did so very little to this. As it rushes towards Maze, and it will make an attack roll with advantage against her for being paralyzed. If this hits, because of paralysis, this will be a critical hit. Oops. Ignore the second one. It didn't go through immediately. Does an 18 hit you?
Yes.
18 will hit you.
Oh,
so
Lord.
we're going to roll some damage. Slash roll. Because
Do it.
4d4 plus 1. Maze. You're going to take 14 damage.
All right. Well, I'm at 0.
A nearly deadly strike as this thing slashes you. It is at this moment.
Raise!
I want. You are now no longer paralyzed, mind you. It is at this moment
Pray.
that I need Killian. Killian, you rolled initiative earlier, so I'm just going to add you to the tracker.
Yeah, thank you. I got a nat 20 on my initiative.
Yeah. I assumed you would want to keep that. We're going to keep this theater of the mind just because this combat will not be long-winded. And Elberin. Oh, goddamn. I don't know if everyone can see the turn tracker in equal measure.
Mm-hmm.
I can see the turn tracker, but I'm at 20 instead of 23.
Oh, my apologies.
I'm also somehow like below the 18.
Yeah, I have to recheck
Okay.
that.
Yeah, there's a button that you need to press to put everything into order.
Yeah. Elberin, did you roll initiative yet?
I did just roll initiative, but I can't select my token. I thought I did, but it doesn't look like I have control of it yet.
No
So I rolled.
worries.
I rolled at the bottom.
Descending order. So we're gonna do you, and you, and just so that the tokens stay in order no matter what. So upon hearing the scream, which was what the initial paralysis, Killian, you burst from the basement of the church, I assume,
Oh yeah.
running back towards the mayor's house. It's a bit of a jaunt, but you can make it there if you dash.
I
And you
will.
arrive on the scene and see Maze no longer paralyzed, barely clinging to consciousness as she's trying to staunch her own bleeding neck. What do you do? You also see a wicked-looking horror standing above her with rusty cutlery knives drenched in her blood that has the sackcloth face of a demon.
Well, all I have is a bonus action, correct? Because I had a dash.
I'll say yes. You can take a bonus action.
All right. Then I'm going to end my turn because I don't have any bonus actions.
Ooh, rough. Okay, cool. Then it's Lewin's turn. What do you want to do?
Well, first and foremost, I don't want Maze to die.
Yeah.
So that bonus action is gonna be used on a good old reliable
Healing
where is
word?
it? Yeah.
Oh my god, my house just
Yeah,
violently shook.
Oh.
Again.
Yeah, it's pretty rough out there.
Oh, really?
Be safe, everyone who's in the Halifax area.
Yeah, healing word. Maze, you recover 3 hit points.
Oh, baby.
We're not doing it for this run through, but anytime I run a regular campaign, and I'm not doing this because this one's going to be by the books, but one of my house rules is if you get up from 0, you have a point of exhaustion.
I like that rule. I've heard it
I
before.
do like
it's very
that rule. I love that rule.
It helps keep Healing Word under control.
Yes,
But for this,
absolutely.
because this one's more by the book, so you can abuse Healing Word to your heart's content.
Heckin'
So
yeah.
Lewin, Maze gasps as the wound in her neck closes. She's still on the ground, but that's just your bonus action. What else would you like to do?
Well, despite it not seeming to be very effective, I'm going to continue doing what I know how to do.
It still does something. Like,
Mhm.
it is losing pieces of straw, but it is not. You wish this thing was flesh and blood because you feel like you have done some serious damage if this was a person.
Mhm.
So have at her. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, and completely out of character, I can do two things for damage. I could attack with a rapier, or I could vicious mockery, and I'm pretty sure that a scarecrow is not going to be very vulnerable to psychic damage.
As an
we're-
action, I can let you roll an intelligence check to
Oh.
try to figure something out. But hey, rapier works too. Roll your damage. Its AC is not very high. It is made of straw and wood.
Oh, that's a 1 on the dice.
That one's a less. You're a bit distracted given what has just happened to Maze, but you've gotten her up. That immediate panic is gone, so this one goes a bit wide. But it still does something better than nothing.
We have to sell it. Fire seems to be what it hates the most.
Maze, you return to full consciousness. You are still on the ground. The torch you were about to light is in your square and easy to pick up. What do you do?
I
can do
guiding
actions
bolted
while
it
you
in
are
the
prone.
face.
You guiding bolt it. Yeah.
I Kamehameha it from the ground.
It needs to make.
Ooh.
Oh, you guiding bolt. Okay, so that is a ranged spell attack, and it's in melee, so you will do this with disadvantage.
Oh, okay, never mind. I didn't realize spell attacks were the same thing.
Yep, any ranged attack you do in melee. If it's Sacred Flame, it has to make a dex save if you've got Sacred Flame. I always get those two mixed up. But
That wouldn't be a terrible idea.
a sacred flame.
they're both radiant damage, so it's not actual fire.
Oh, right. Forgetting.
Chill Touch is not a touch spell. Sacred Flame, not a fire
Yeah.
spell.
Yeah, chill touch
like
is
Lewin
not
doesn't know
cold
the
or
difference,
touch.
So I'll grab my shield in my I picture I have my shield and I grab the torch or whatever, and I'm trying to
Shoot
I'll
her.
let her.
Cool. Do you stand up?
Yes.
Cool. You are now no longer prone. Your shield is equipped already. We're not going to make you have to restrap that. So you grab the torch. So you would still have an action. Getting up is only 15 feet of your movement.
Can I
if you
light
have
the
30.
torch?
Yep. I'll let that be your.
Interact
Ooh.
with item or interact
Yeah,
with
you-
object thing.
You would have had the stuff to light the torch out and about, and that's why it took its ready to
Yeah, I
action.
picture like I'm on the
Yeah.
ground lighting it, and then getting like I
Yeah.
roll and get up with the shield,
Yep,
and I have
you-
the torch
You
in
have
my hand.
lit the torch as your action, and now you are up and ready with a torch in one hand. You're looking rough, but you're looking ready. It is this creature's turn. Lewin, seeing that you have used some form of magic to revive your friend, but being near the fire, it looks around for a moment as if contemplating what to do, and you can see that this thing fears the flame, and so it will try to dash toward, and not the actual dash action. It's going to run towards you, Lewin, which means
Okay.
Maze, you get an attack of opportunity.
Oh baby. Should I just roll?
Roll a melee weapon attack. And any of your weapons should suffice. 1d20 plus 4. 15 is a hit. Please deal, I believe a torch is 1d4 fire damage.
Or
Sounds about right.
It is
It's
now.
either 1d4 or 1d6. Oh, it deals 1 fire damage? No, bullshit. It deals 1d4 fire damage. You're hitting someone with like a club that's on fire.
Yeah, that's a fire enchanted club.
Yeah. And it cannot move any longer because you hit it with an attack of opportunity. I forgot you had Sentinel.
Oh my god, yes.
So it tries to get away from you.
Not
and to
today,
run and starts
motherfucker.
Lashing towards Lewin, and it ignites. Your strike deals a considerable amount of damage to this thing as parts of the scarecrow start sloughing off as the straw starts burning. So it's going to turn towards you, terrified, and it will make you, instead of trying to claw, no, it can't even leave it square. Never mind. It will try to do that same thing to you again. It will try to glare you. Can you make another wisdom saving throw?
Yep. As an aside note, when you cast Healing Word, I picture my character like seizing and just a bunch of water just pouring out of my mouth.
It never gets easier to visualize that.
No.
12 is what you are not terrified of this thing. It's a fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, I'm not actually drowning.
Well, I've got the torch in my hand now.
Yeah.
The torch brings courage.
Elberin, you also dash and get here at the same time. Sorry, it's the bottom of the initiative, but you get here if you have a bonus action if you wanted to take it.
I do not.
Yeah, I don't think paladins can do really anything with a bonus action for first level.
Really?
Once they get magic, they can.
Yeah, then they can get Healing Word.
That's true. That brings us to Killian, top of the round.
Okay. I'm going to look at this now ignited scarecrow, and I'm going to raise my hands up to the sky, and I'm going to cry out at it, "Be consumed by the flames from which you came, devil!" And I'm going to gather a orange, like a burning sphere of flame between my hands, and I'm going to launch both my hands forward, and an orange, like a golden orange blast is going to come out of the orb, and the orb will dissipate between my fingers. And I'm going to hit it with Eldritch Blast.
Eldritch Blast! Roll your attack. Roll your spell attack.
That is the most descriptive Eldritch Blast I have ever heard.
Each and every single one of them is
Yeah.
different. It's
They're all
beautiful.
different, though. Yeah.
I just have to check my modifier real quick. I think it's +5. Yeah, it's +5. Hey!
19 is a hit.
Blast.
Roll your Eldritch damage. 2! Square in its scarecrow chest. It doesn't seem to do as much damage as the fire, but it's still an impressive strike nonetheless. Lewin, it is your turn.
Stabby stab.
You'll have to run up to it to stab it, but yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'll run up to
but
it and...
You are effectively flanking. You get a dirty 20 and you strike it.
Nice. Yeah, that's
You would be cutting down men left, right, and center if this, again, was a flesh and blood being. Because your strikes are so elegant and so precise, it's almost intimidating.
Stab it through the heart that it doesn't have.
Yeah. Like it, the rest of you, it's actually uncanny how precise each of these is, because this is a lot of damage each and every time. And no bonus actions, I'm assuming. Lewin?
He went into the scarecrow.
He went into the
He
scarecrow.
became the sword.
Maze, it is your turn.
I am going to... I probably should just attack it, but I'm kind of worried that it's not going to go down, and then I'm going to go down. So I think I can probably see Elberin coming, right?
Yeah, Elberin's here now.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go on defense. I'm gonna go dodge.
Take the dodge action?
And hunker down and call out to Elberin to take this thing down.
Sure. The Scarecrow's turn. Because it is surrounded on one side with Lewin and the other side with Maze, it's going to make 2 claw attacks. One against Maze, who is wielding the fire.
With disadvantage.
Disadvantage is a 10. I don't think that's going to hit you. And the second attack against Lewin. Was 17 against you, Lewin.
No.
Lewin?
I think he
Does that hit?
disconnected. Like, he's not in Roll20 anymore.
Oh no!
Oh,
He died!
Power. Oh, actually, I think
He's going to take a lot of damage. Just as a heads up. But we'll resolve that when he comes back on. as that slash strikes Lewin square in the chest, it is Elberin's turn. This fearsome farming equipment has been hurting your friends. What do you do?
All right. Well, I'm going to take my warhammer in both hands, and I'm gonna smash.
Run up, smash. It now has the party on 3 of its 4 sides.
Whew.
Woof. You wallop this thing. And much like Lewin's experience, you would have crushed a man's skull. But this thing refuses to go down.
Yeah.
Yet. Killian.
Killian is going to raise a single finger on his right hand and collect a silvery orb of moonlight. Like, as he looks up at the rising moon, a glowing white orb appears, and he points it at the scarecrow, and it hovers in the air for a second before, like, bulleting at the scarecrow.
Roll your attack.
What are you using?
Eldritch Blast!
15 is a hit.
Woohoo!
Not D20, D10.
No whammy, no whammy.
Boom! As that silvery orb of moonlight hits this thing, it knocks the head clean off, and it goes tumbling and spilling straw, teeth, weird patches of fur, and other odd fetish bits onto the ground of Ravensburg, and the night is still and calm. And the scarecrow lies defeated.
I
gonna use a
blow
healing
across my
word
finger,
on
and a little bit of sparkle fairy dust comes off.
You use a healing word on yourself?
No, on Lewin. He's on the ground, right?
He took 6 damage. I don't think that would have downed him.
Oh, okay. No, he's not down.
But
Okay.
that's a big hit
That's a big
still.
hit, yeah.
That can kill a commoner very quickly. I'll check on Lewin.
It's quite
he's
possible
he's
his
at
power's
the
out.
same amount of he's at the same amount of hit points as you.
Oh, yeah, we're
Yeah.
good. All I need is 1.
Tired and a little bedraggled, the party gathers around the scarecrow, which is still smoldering a little bit, and a little bit of torch takes care of the rest of it, leaving only the metal pieces in a couple of moments.
I hand over the torch to Elberin.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
You're the expert on this, right?
Yeah. Nothing a good dose of fire won't solve.
Everyone roll perception checks. We'll be wrapping up soon, but I want to, with Lewin having internet connectivity issues, but there's some small things we want to take care of before the end of the night.
Too busy.
10, 9, and 11. Y'all are so close together. You have the adrenaline pumping through your veins. You don't hear anything. Very specifically, you don't hear anything.
I was gonna say, do we hear the popping of teeth?
The fire wouldn't have gotten hot enough to do that,
Okay.
I don't think, but there were teeth within the scarecrow.
Oh, fun. Human teeth? Or like
You
horse
assume.
teeth?
Some.
Oh,
Assorted.
assorted teeth.
Teeth.
Now, much of the townsfolk likely heard something going on. Not a person opened their shutters. You figure everyone is cowering, terrified over what unearthly scream caused that sound. You, wounded and sore, drag yourselves back towards the church, and you find the cellar door is still open.
I am going to grab the torch from Elberin, like just snatch it from him, and run down the stairs.
You run down the stairs. Lucille, Abigail, Cromwell, and Avonlea are nowhere to be found. There is, however, a small black cat sitting on a sheaf of paper. Meow.
Damn it! I knew the cat did it. Told you I could have got it.
What are you doing,
The
Killian?
the sounds, like, Killian doesn't speak Sylvan other than he knows curse words. And
The cat does that thing where it touches the sheaf of paper, like it's crinkly, so it touches it, and then it does the pitter pat at it, and then it looks at you.
He'll calm down enough to look at the sheet of paper, like he'll just yank it from the cat and look at it.
There is a note written on it in very fine handwriting, just with a charcoal stick. It says, "We are north, near Mab and Vivian's protection, by the standing stones. Burn this paper once you've found it. We have," and then it has something written in Sylvan, but it almost looks like a spell. Roll an Arcana check for me.
Oh, yay.
You're not sure what it could be. It's like you said, you don't speak Sylvan, so you're not sure what these words are, but you're pretty sure there's a little bit of Sylvan script at the end of the note. It says, "We have," and then you're not sure what it says.
I'm going to fold the paper such that it's like above, like I'm going to fold basically the rectangle bit that has the Sylvan script on it, crease it, tear it off, and then I'm going to use prestidigitation to just ignite the rest of the flame, or the rest of the paper.
It is gone.
And I pocket that.
And you pocket it. Does anyone in the party speak Sylvan?
Nah.
No?
Elven, Celestial, and Common.
I do.
You do?
Oh,
Elmorin does.
you- Of course, the other guy does.
Yeah.
It's like he-
Oh.
Like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Did Lewin just pop back in the chat?
I think so.
Hey, welcome back. So,
You will.
Killian went back to the church, or you all went back to the church and realized the cellar door was still open. Killian rushed downstairs and saw a little black cat with a note.
Hello?
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 Oh.
Sorry, power went out for a second.
Oh, no worries at all.
Yeah, we figured it was that.
Did we kill the scarecrow, or is
Yes.
Yep.
are we all? Oh,
Through,
no.
through a combination of very large hammer to the head and very small eldritch blast.
You took 6 points of damage also. You're very wounded.
Okay, yeah, that's quite the wound.
Yeah, I always love playing my paladins with big hammers.
Excuse me, I just sneezed and muted myself and just like
Good catch.
face shoving into. So going down into the cellar, which was still open, there was a cat, but no sign of the mayor, his family, or Lucille, but a little note that said, "We have gone to the protection of Mab and Vivian. We have headed north. Burn this note once you've gotten it. We have..." And then it says something in Sylvan. Killian ignited most of the paper, leaving just the piece in Sylvan that he couldn't decipher.
Okay. Can I read it?
Yeah, I'm going to show it to the
Yes.
rest of the party.
Yeah.
Because I assumed that Lewin might speak Sylvan, but I won't hide it from the other two.
Well, I didn't realize Elberin until this session was a half-elf, so this is great. Like,
Yeah, I didn't.
elves,
Yeah,
elves often have a connection to the Sylvan.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
This
Two half-elves,
This party's
two humans.
3 humans and an elf.
All together, yes. Because
Well-
we're 2 humans, 2 half-elves.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
No, we don't know it. Full.
Oh
elf.
no, you're a high.
Oh, you're a full elf.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I'm a high elf.
Oh, so we're
Jeez
we're
Louise.
2.5 and 1.5.
Exactly.
So reading the note, the last part, would have said, we've headed north. We have passed without trace.
Ooh.
They're probably fine.
Roll Arcana checks if you'd like. Killian will give you a new one now that you know the words.
The cat's also here, right?
The cat is here. The cat is sitting pretty as can be,
I don't
super
trust them at
calm.
all.
I'm such a
Wow.
bad wizard.
All of you are
Um,
so bad at magic.
I keep getting amazing attack rolls and amazing, like, random other skills, but I do not know magic.
Not a one of you knows what Lucille means by when she says we have
But
passed without trace.
it hasn't. I don't think it's been 10 minutes because combat is very short in
Yes.
actual time. So I can still talk to the cat.
You will have to roll a concentration check.
Oh,
Against
yeah,
the
you
attack.
get- you get hit.
damage. Yeah, that's a con save, right?
Yep.
Ooh.
Yep, you're fine.
Okay, I can
The
still
cat-
talk to the cat.
The cat looks at you. What do you want to know? What do you want to ask the cat?
Apparently, we're all too stupid to tell what kind of play on words is going on here.
a
Do you
good-
know?
Good thing you said that in cat.
Well,
Yeah, I say that in cat.
The cat responds to you with a simple, "I can't read."
Of course.
What does it say?
It's... I'll whisper into the cat's ear.
Oh, it's a
Um,
spell.
All right. So they're probably
witch.
safe.
It's a spell for hiding.
Then they're probably safe. If so, I'll convey to the rest of the party. Like,
Vivian, I don't know.
I'll say like a hushed tone, just like, well, a spell was cast that helps with hiding. So I take it that Lucille took them, and has some sort of. If the cat can be trusted, then they've cast some form of spell to help them escape.
I don't think
That's
anything.
all
any of
I've
them can be
got, Sam.
trusted. She fled as soon as she could.
Yes, but she left a note.
Yeah,
So
saying
much
that.
trouble with Eos.
So yeah, that's convey.
Should
So
we
I
tell
guess I
the,
just like
yeah, should we tell the priest?
no.
I don't think we should tell the priest. I think I should talk to the priest
Yes, you should talk to the
before he
priest. You'll-
discovers the mayor's family and the girl missing.
Did you want to do that tonight, or did you want to do that tomorrow morning?
I would like to do that tonight.
Sure.
Yeah, let's get.
I
as a-
guess he
as a
sleeps in
party?
the church, right?
Because
Yeah, he's got rooms in the church. Yeah.
The alternative is one of us pretends to be Lucille, and I feel like none of us really.
Yeah, I'm going
The elf
to.
physique,
I'm just
maybe.
gonna knock on the front door of the church.
She's vomiting water. Clearly, she's a witch. I
You
told you all.
you awaken the priest in the middle of the night, who comes to the door, a little bedraggled, but yes.
I like that word.
Oh, have you found something?
Quite the opposite, actually. We've lost some things.
Oh no,
Uh,
another child.
My marbles. Have you seen
Father,
them?
we've done good here.
You're bleeding.
can't-
Is everything all right?
We everything's as fine as it could be for the evening. In the morning, you're going to discover the mayor, his family, and the woman in your basement here have all gone missing. Do not
He sharply inhales.
do not send the village into a fuss.
Roll a persuasion check.
Bang.
Because that is legitimately the first thing this priest wants to do. He has wanted to kill the witch in his custody for a while. Persuasion
Oh, heck
19.
yes.
I'm a
Okay.
people person.
His eyes are wide with frustration, maybe anger, but he listens and he lets you keep speaking.
Now, we don't know who's behind the disappearing children, but we have physical evidence that it is not the woman in your basement.
What is this evidence?
Several devilish idols, as well as attacks and the timing. You've incapacitated her completely, as you should have with your suspicions, but other things have gone on despite no children being successfully kidnapped. It simply can't be her.
But now she's free and a child has gone missing.
Not gone missing.
Then you know
Not
where
technically.
they are?
I know where they're going. They should be safe.
Where are they going?
I can't tell you that to keep them safe.
He clenches his fists at his side. Please give me strength. This lunacy will be the death of this village.
Now, what'll be the death of this village is whoever's out there capturing children. Now, if it eases your mind, Father, I feel that you are not in amongst the suspects. However, I feel that you're barking up the wrong tree. You've fallen down the wrong path towards rooting out the real source of this ne'er-dwelling and witchery.
You call my faith into question when you say that, sir.
Not your faith, just your investigative work.
My judgment?
We can't all be perfect.
Ooh. I will let you roll a persuasion check with disadvantage. But you're gonna want to hit a big number because you've his ego is wounded right now.
Ooh,
That is
ooh,
not a
I
big
did
number.
hit a big number.
He is like there's a vein pulsing in his head. Find the children. And he slams the church shut on you. You're not sure if he's going to stir up a frenzy or not, but this seems to have been a difficult conversation for him to have in the middle of the night.
Well, I think that went
I
well.
suppose we can wake up.
He, you can all retire either to the inn or the mayor's house, which does have the accommodations for you. The mayor, after all, promised this to you in the job posting. And you can get a short rest if you wanted to, or if you wanted to continue for this evening, or you can go and take a long rest if you wanted to resume tomorrow morning. What
Are
does
the
the party
people
think
that we
they want?
left in the house still there?
You said to get them to leave after an hour, so
Oh, right. Yeah, that
yeah.
was...
So after this conversation and investigating in the basement, I'd say probably an hour would go by eventually. So
I think spending the night at the mayor's house with a watch would make the most sense, just because we still expect, like, I don't know, something
Somebody
might
still,
come after
somebody
us.
that doesn't know what's going on or where the mayor is may go back there to try to.
yep, for sure.
I mean,
you-
right now, even the church might be dangerous, even. But you know, fuck the
Who's to
priest.
say? So you go back to the mayor's house and set up watches just in case. And you manage to all get a full rest in, and by the time you wake in the morning, you are all level 2.
Hey!
And this is where we will end the session for tonight. To everyone who has watched in the chat, I hope you guys have enjoyed this somewhat spooky investigative session of Rise of the Black Coven. I'm paying the cat tax with my cat behind me. And if you guys liked this and want to see more of this, then make sure you pledge to the Kickstarter. It's in the chat somewhere. And that you support queer content, because there's well, we haven't actually delved into this really yet. what with the way this investigation is going. But queer creator, there's going to be a lot of queer stuff that comes up. Even though these are a bunch of straight boys, I'm not going to hold that against them. And I wanted to do a big plug, if that's okay on your channel, Mage.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because today the deck box pledged to take a huge wholesale order, so I'm super stoked about that. Deckbox Halifax, you should follow them on Instagram. I don't know if they're on TikTok, but follow them on Instagram for sure. Follow them on Facebook. They're very kind to have supported a small local creator like me, so I am hugely indebted to them, and if I succeed, it will be a huge part because of their order that they placed. So a big thank you to them, and we'll probably be doing this for a little bit. Yeah, we're not quite as far as I thought we would be along this path, but I love where we've gone, where you guys are. It's very different from every other time I've run this, which is fun. Every time it's a little bit unique. We're all hitting the same story beats, but in different ways that are such a lovely recombination of flavors.
Out of curiosity and like just sort of like a post, like what moments in particular do you think were like we didn't do what you expected, or like you enjoy the direction?
When I've run this before, I think it's just because everyone starts at level 1. No one involves Cedric with anything. No one even showed up to talk to him. And I've written up this gossipy dwarf, this chatty Cathy that I think is very charming.
He's very charming.
All the hot goss. So that's one. Just Cedric has not come up in any of the other playtests at all. No one has tried to pull a switcheroo, which I really like. I like the switcheroo attempt. I think that is delightful. So that I was not expecting at all. I've had to introduce a couple new like minor NPCs because of you guys, but that's neither here nor there. That just happens in any D&D campaign.
Yeah.
And what else? I can say that something that you have done very different compared to the other time I've run this is that you have not 100% ingratiated yourselves to Father Simon. You have not yet started a riot in the village. You chose to try to safeguard Abigail through the night rather than immediately going off to the Samson farm. So there's a lot of a lot of story beats that you've just done differently or in a different order. But I like it. I like it also because you guys have tried not to make enemies in the town, which is difficult when the town is an anthill ready to be kicked over.
Yeah. It's so kickable.
It's so kickable.
But we know, like, as soon as we kick it, then all the ants will just come out and be crawling all over the place. And
That's how you get ants.
That's how you get ants.
That's how you get ants on your face.
Just ruin the picnic.
My question for you guys is, now that we're in the post credit game scene, is I'm not going to tell you one way or the other because you haven't explored all the avenues. But who done it? Who you think done it?
Oh,
the Pendle. The Pendle sisters.
Heinrich, obviously.
I was thinking this earlier. It would be so funny, so absolutely hilarious to me if the father was just absolutely right and what's the girl's name in the
Lucille.
baby? Lucille. If Lucille did it, just absolutely everything else is just a massive red herring. She just did it, and the father was right.
It could be both. They could be pulling a scream.
And I feel like I at the end of last session, I was suspecting like, oh, the father's involved in this, but like by the end of this session, I feel like he's a jerk, but I don't think he's behind it. I think he's just like not like what Killian said. Like I think he's barking up the wrong tree.
Yeah, I think he's sincere in that he wants to find those kids, but he's so sure that family is a bunch of witches that it has to be them.
Yeah, it's clouded. I don't think he's responsible. I think his judgment has been clouded, and his pride or like his religious fervor is keeping him from being able to be shown the truth in front of his face.
Yeah. Last session, I was 100% sure it was him.
I trust nobody with a character token.
That's a good way. Like just NPCs, right? Like you trust us,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, sure.
Truth be
Yeah.
told, I gave him a character token because there was such hostility the last time I ran this game that it just he's an abrasive guy. One, like, no matter how you shake it, no matter which side of the spectrum you fall on, believing he's a religious fervent man. He can be very abrasive. So someone in the party inevitably rubs him the wrong way because he's just not an easy guy to get along with. And
Yeah.
last time I ran it, it came to violence. Surprise, surprise. Dungeons
Well,
and Dragons.
my character hates his guts, and would
For
it have?
sure.
I mean, but he's sort of taking the direction from Elberin, you know, because the way I see Maze is she is not a good follower of her, even this god. Like she looks at Elberin and is like, man, like I can't believe he believes that bullshit. You know? It's crazy, but it works for some reason.
I will also say, I meant to bring this up before. Every time you say maze, it immediately like triggers react because you call me mage. So
Yeah.
every single time I just perk up and I'm like, what? Oh.
Am I the only one who calls you mage?
Yep.
Does everyone else go necro?
It's like
Yeah, I usually
50-50.
call it necro.
Yeah.
Okay.
I usually just say necro.
Okay.
I picture Maze's name is she's called Maze because that was the nickname I picture her family gave her because she like her older brother or something like that had died because she constantly looked like she was lost
Aw.
when she was younger.
Oh, I thought it was because she was corn.
Like the doll.
Yeah.
Like the doll.
Like the dog.
We threw it in the fire and you said we heard popping, the first thing that went through my head was, ooh, popcorn.
I also,
And then it was
No,
fucking
the first-
teeth.
like 90% of my brain was like, oh, something supernatural is happening. The last 10% was like, ooh, popcorn.
So you've got to have funny moments in slightly spooky stuff. It's not like we're not at horror level, even though I hope this is there is a, I don't know, an uneasy feeling in the
no,
village.
the scarecrow was probably the
Ooh,
most
the
uneasy feeling I
scarecrow-
felt so far.
The scarecrow
That was before
reminded
it
me of the
became
last
animated.
time I faced a scarecrow, which was you.
In Curse of Strahd, they're the best. They're so
Scarecrows
good.
are really good.
They get multi-attack. They are.
They're
vicious
horrifying.
at
They
level
do a lot of damage. Very
Everything at level
quickly.
one- to be fair, everything at level 1 deals a lot of damage.
Yeah.
But yes,
Yeah.
I fucking love them. Oh yeah, swearing on the stream, but that's fine.
That's fine.
They are so good, so spooky. They are the spookiest things. I love them to bits, and they are underutilized. And I grew to love them in Curse of Strahd when I described the Scarecrow, and I forget who at the table said it, but they basically just put down their character sheet and their pencil, and they lean forward and go, "I hate this. I hate this." I'm like,
That
"No,
might have
I
been
love-"
me.
That does
That
sound
sounds like a
that
very
does sound
necro
like
thing to
necro.
say. Just,
Yeah.
I can just hear it
Very-
like, I hate this.
Very earnest, very plaintive, just very like, this is a horrible place. I don't want to be here, because that's Barovia, all in all.
Yeah.
Ravensburg is not at the Barovian level, but
No,
hey,
not yet.
Scarecrow's gonna scare.
Yeah, no, like as soon as you said like there's a scarecrow, like my immediate reaction was just like, oh god, I thought immediately in my mind, which is why I asked. Like
Is
in my mind I immediately envisioned, oh, it's looking at us. Maybe it's not. I'll try asking. Oh, it is. Good.
Oh, it 100% is. My favorite thing about them, just we'll part the kimono a little bit, is that they are indistinguishable from regular scarecrows as long as they do not move.
Mm.
There's no stealth check. There's no, because they still are the thing that they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are just
Yeah.
capable of being perfectly still, and I love that.
I did love that it kept up the disguise and like if it weren't for the fact that it would just make sense in the moment to be like, we should burn this. Like we already came across one thing that's called this is spooky. It definitely wasn't here. We should burn this too. Like it would have gotten away.
Oh,
Like,
100%.
Like after stabbing a couple times and it not reacting, Lewin would have probably been like,
No, the,
yeah,
the,
no,
on-
this is like it's a normal scarecrow. I'm leaving.
the only
Yeah.
reason it reacted was obviously the fire, which it
Yeah,
did
the
not like.
fire.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
God.
I hope you guys enjoyed this session. Lots of
Oh, so much.
investigative goodness.
Nearly
And
died, but my
nearly-
character, although now second level, irony, not irony, I guess. I get Touch of Death as my channel divinity. So.
Hey, there you go.
I'm gonna take Unseen Servant.
To clean things.
I mean, just like I was all tempted to take it in the first place. I was like, that'll never come up. It will
spell.
never come up, and then it did, and I'm like,
Is
Yeah.
good spell. Is good
And
spell.
I've got spells now too.
I dropped
Which means you can smite the things.
I can smite
yeah.
You can choose
Smite
to not
with
cast-
heal.
Like,
I'm
what?
gonna get Agonizing Blast.
Is
Yeah,
that the
I
add
took,
your charisma? To
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
I took Detect Evil and Good, Detect Poison and Disease, Heroism, and Protection from Evil and Good.
Nice.
Heroism is
Nice.
so good.
Heroism is, it's one of those things. It was a bit of a stealth spell for me, but like once I made Sicily for that game, I was just like, oh my god, that is so good.
I completely passed it by because in Pathfinder it's bad.
Yeah,
It's just not a good spell. It's a single target buff spell when at that same level there's so many multi character or party wide buff spells that you could take.
Yeah.
And I did not look at it twice in 5e until someone's like, you get a potion of heroism. Like, what does it do? Like, what's the stats? Oh my god, it's amazing. And just
yeah. Well, and I made so Sicily is I made a bard, and like she was just pure like I'm just gonna buff everybody all the time, and it made the party so goddamn scary because she's just like, oh yeah, everybody heroism and aid and like all of these things to be like, oh yeah, like you have a scary like, and I had the inspiring leader feat.
nice.
Too. So it's just like, oh yeah, we're first level, but everybody gets like 6 bonus hit points or temporary
amazing.
hit points. Yeah.
I remember in Curse of Strahd, I had heroism, and I used it on someone else to make them, like, free them from scarecrow paralysis.
It's true. I
Well,
love
it's just-
scarecrows.
Yeah, the great part about it is it renews that temporary hit point buffer on every
Every
like
turn.
round.
Yeah, it's like regeneration.
Yeah, exactly.
Pseudo regeneration.
Yeah.
Anyway, it is getting late. I hope you guys really enjoyed this session. And if you're good to play next week, we'll be good to play next week.
Yeah, absolutely.
Getting down,
absolutely.
and
Had a
we'll
great
see
time.
if we can wrap up the mysterious case of the events happening in Ravensburg.
No, I don't want it to end.
Well, you probably won't wrap it up next week. I'm assuming
That's
this will take at
Very
least
bold of you to assume that we can.
I mean, that's
I-
true.
I assume it will take 2 more sessions. That's
Okay,
my
then it'll
assumption.
take 5.
But it is possible to wrap it up in 1.
Hey.
Yeah, it'll take like 5 more sessions, I bet.
Who's to say? Who's to
I'm
say?
to
Also,
say.
Certainly
thank
not I.
you thank you to everyone who followed
Yeah.
and cheered the stream while we were playing. There wasn't a lot of like chat interaction because D&D does not appreciate a bunch of like pop-ups in the middle of narration and
Yeah.
such.
Yeah.
But thank you very much for the support of the stream. We'll be doing this next week. I'll also be just streaming throughout the week.
We'll be doing more Dark
Like and
Souls on Thursday, assuming we're not dead.
God damn it. If you're not subscribed to Mage's channel, subscribe right now. And pledge to the Kickstarter.
Yeah, do that.
Click all the buttons. Get notifications.
Someone
Sell your soul. Sell your children's souls. Join the Coven.
Hunt other people down, sell their souls.
Just do what you gotta do.
I need that soul money.
We need that soul currency.
'cause I'm a soul man.
Anyway, I've got a jet, and I love you all. Thank you all for playing. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Have a good night, everybody. Everybody say goodbye.
Goodbye. We still don't know how to end off stream.
Bye.
This is a goodbye.
Bye.